argue with me,
Hello, ladies and gents. How is everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone is feeling a little better from the result 2 days ago. I know I am now. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to everyone in chat. Big up to everyone in the background as well. We'll let you guys in just a second just to talk about Chelsea. Listen, I honestly was contemplating calling this Chelsea therapy because this is probably... I'm gonna be using this as a reference for a lot of today's show, but this is probably relevant, and you guys can probably relate to this. And big up Enzo Maresca as always, because he also gave us before leaving not only some trophies but a good quote that I think relates to right now. These last 48 hours have been the worst. And yes, they fucking have. PSG will be facing Arsenal in a Champions League final. And Arsenal are first place in the league right now. Yeah, it's not good. So today's call-in show, I mean, we're always down to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. So big up to you guys. You guys make this show possible. Today's call-in show, I'm probably going to be more geared towards the protests and potentially what you guys think would be the best move in terms of a coach or manager or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. Or it could just be Chelsea therapy for all I care. I mean, I'm here for it. Let's talk, let's chat. Call-in link is pinned at the chat. It's also in the description. Let's get into topics first, and then we'll kind of roll in the callers. But big up to every single one of you. If you are here, be sure to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and also be sure to check out all the links in the description. Hype up the video if you watch this in the future. And memberships, there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and one of the actual memberships gives you, like, you know, right out of the gate access to the call-in show. So yeah, I guess to start things off, ladies and gents, we'll kick it off with this, because I feel like due to how this season has gone, I want to do my due diligence, obviously, that something is done about it. And because I am in the complete opposite side of the ocean, it's a little bit difficult for me to actually go to one of these myself. But if you happen to be in the UK, if you happen to be in England, if you happen to be in London, and you happen to support Chelsea, then there's a protest happening. And I strongly advocate people go to it, because we definitely need these owners and the board to take accountability for everything that's happened this season and how horrible everything has gone. A lot of damning quotes that came out today from Matt Law in terms of how the board feels about the whole situation. I'll probably get into that in a Casually Chelsea show, but for now, just letting everyone know, there's a second protest now, or a third protest, I should say, now being, big up Ahmed, now being, scheduled. So breaking news, Chelsea fan protest group announced 2 new protests before the FA Cup finals. So that is May 16th, Saturday. I believe so, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure May 16th is our FA Cup final. I'm just going to double confirm that just to make sure. Yep, May 16th is our FA Cup final. So before that game, protests happening. March will get underway at 1:30 p.m. at Wembley Way, featuring a large banner that will focus on Blue Coat, but this time also supporting also the sporting directors. During the Spurs match, which I don't think that's been announced yet, but fans are urged to take action on the 22nd minute, the year 2022. The Blue Coat took over by turning around with your backs on the game for 1 minute and chant, "We want our Chelsea back." The protests are set to not be stopping until change is forced and will not be halted based on any reports leading up to the protest on the next manager's name. Also, to add on to that, pretty much direct from the organizer's mouth, this is all the additional details as well in regards to the upcoming protests. So, yeah, Ahmed, I'm feeling some type of way, but it is what it is. We kind of knew what's going on. Nah, I'm just annoyed about the whole thing. The last 48 hours, Ahmed, I don't know if you were watching, but I feel like this is slowly but surely, like, Maresca just keeps getting more and more powerful as the days go on, and now he has a meme. Look at this. These last 48 hours have been my worst, or been the worst. It's relevant. It's relevant. It's a quote. It's a bar. It's a bar.
You know, you can believe in Maresca. I'm not one of these guys, unfortunately. When he said that quote, one of the things I did not like when he did that, by the way, neighbor mic can hear me actually. Yeah, was the
obviously
fact that,
yeah, I know that. Yeah,
was that, bro? He said that genuinely. He legit said that. Yeah, he said, "Oh, this is the worst 4 years of my life." I said, "I'm not gonna elaborate further." That is literally like, come on, bro, stand on business. That's what I'm gonna say, man. You can't keep. Yeah. This is the other thing. Yeah, I always say, with Antonio Conte, I may have hated what he did to me in the second season. That's a crime against football, as I always say. But at the same time, I can respect when he was saying, "We're gonna suffer. The players that I wanted didn't come into the team." At least he said that, innit? The only thing about Maresca was like, you would say all this. He said that thing after, and I'm like, bro, what happened? Tell us what happened, bro. Like, we had, before he even left the club here, we had like a whole 2-week scenario of like, why did he say that quote? No comment. Yeah. Why did he say that quote? No. So like he also himself, yeah, did not help himself there, because like half of us was like, what's going on?
Do you feel like that where the ownership are a little too harsh on criticism against them? Like, if it feels like if anyone speaks out, they just kind of lash out.
Listen, that can be true, but he also himself decided, I'm gonna start it. You know what I mean? That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know,
no, I'm not defending him, but do you?
That I agree with
do you
you.
feel like it's too harsh?
Of course. Listen, how many briefs do we be getting, bro, every day, bro? Everyone be getting the same brief sometimes. We getting a whole soliloquy. Like, we know that they do that.
Well, we've been getting the same briefs for the last week, man.
Yeah,
I can't even. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about anymore.
Again, I agree with everything you're saying there, but I just think at the same time with Maresca, listen, I'm gonna be honest. People say Maresca's stock is increasing, which is fair enough, but listen, whoever, I still am of the belief, whichever job he goes to next, I think people are vastly overrated how successful he's gonna be. That's what I'm gonna say, in my personal opinion. I think we vastly overestimate scenarios and how people do, and that's what I'm gonna say in regards to him. And I'm fairly confident actually with him. Believe me, I know my Italian managers very well.
How do you feel about the Champions League final? That adds to the last 48 hours that have been.
I think it's going to be another competitive final. Honestly, in my personal.
You think so?
It's going to be quite in terms of like what I mean by it's a good final. We've got like a very good defensive side. It's a very good attacking side. I think PSG was able to beat them last time, and I think I am still of the belief that I just think PSG is just better. I think the problem Arsenal's going to have here again is that, and I think PSG will probably score before they do, in my personal opinion, right? Is then going to be the moment they start opening up, PSG they will literally just pass through them, and they can do that very effectively. That's the 100%. Only thing. That's the one thing I will say.
Kvara has been on fire. I can't lie. Kvara has been an absolute fire.
Gusto gave this guy form, man. You know, that's who we have to blame. Generally, That game against Gusto, Gusto played so well for like 70 minutes, and then he decided to just go to sleep, bro.
Don't get me started on Gusto, bro. Yo, chat, I can't lie. Bro. These last 48 hours, I've been calming down, and I look back at my fucking crash out. Gusto literally made me break. Gusto was the character that made me break.
No joke, Gusto did that. Gusto like literally gave this guy his form. He was so poor for like a good 3/4 of the season. He then faces us, bro, and brought him life, bro. That's it, man.
For real. Now he's back to top Kavara. I mean, like, I was really disappointed with Atleti. Like, Atleti, man, like, the fact that both teams are trying to play this counterattack ball, and it's like, come on, bro, you gotta go for it. Like,
you have
and
then
they
understand.
go 1-0 down, and it's like, oh man. Once they started attacking, they looked a little better. But
I think what you need to understand, Marshall, unfortunately, is that, and I've said this before, Simeone is washed right now. Okay, his tactics for me are just not good enough anymore, and his tactical decisions, in my personal opinion, aren't of the level that they used to be. And I think, listen, sometimes, bro, it's just good to admit, bro, he's not of the level anymore, and it's time to move on. And I think if you're Atletico Madrid, I will just be honest, it's just time to move on, bro. Their style of play, like, it doesn't work effectively anymore as it used to. It's just me.
I actually forgot to ask you, Ahmed, are you going to the protest?
I think the one against Spurs. I think Spurs. When is that? Is that on Saturday or Sunday?
I'm seeing right here that the Spurs one is going to be the 19th of May, so it's a Tuesday. So it's back to back. So FA Cup and then the Tuesday after Spurs.
Who are we facing them this week?
We're facing Liverpool on Saturday. You know what? I have been so checked out the last 48 hours. You're smiling because it's. What's the point of even talking about the games anymore?
You know what's funny? I thought we were facing like what's it called? Liverpool after Spurs.
No, we're facing Liverpool on Saturday. Ahmed, Ahmed. Last night I was really contemplating my thoughts and I realized, oh my God, I'm about to witness Chelsea lose 7 games in a row in the Prem.
I'll be honest. I thought we already did that record under Potter and Lampard, to be honest. When he was
I don't think we did under Lampard. I don't think we did.
We didn't.
I'll check right now.
That's kind of shocking if we didn't do that under Lampard.
Let me ask Google. What is Chelsea's longest losing streak in the Prem?
You know what's funny? You know. Listen, you know me. I'm going to these protests. I'm backing the lads and everything like that. I'm backing
our longest song.
Oh, so 6. So we basically matched already. So there we go. Yeah.
We might break the record on Saturday. Oh no! Chelsea's longest losing streak in the Premier League is 6 consecutive matches, a record set in 1993 and 94.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a point I was gonna make here. I think, in my personal opinion, the Bridge Nation's opinion here, something to point out, at least with the projects, I'm very happy they're going on. I'm happy that they're continuing. But, you know, Marshall, I don't know if you saw, we're buying another 19-year-old already, bro. Came out yesterday.
Is it that,
Elmara guy.
Yeah, right? He's from
Cologne.
Frankfurt or?
Cologne.
Cologne, okay, yeah. I have it somewhere. I gotta look into it.
Yeah. It came out today. So it's like, you know, it clearly. I mean, what is there to say, bro? You know what I mean?
Status quo, man. Status quo.
Well, I don't know what to say, bro.
Listen, well, I'll judge it at the end of the window, but
I'm just saying, man. I'm ready. Listen, there's not even like a window season yet. It's just me, and I'm ready. Already had that. We've got a new young lad coming through.
Enough.
There we go, bro. We've got a new young G already. Let's go, man.
Yeah, man. No, it's rough. I mean, Ahmed, did I ask you? I think you said Marco Silva, right? Who's in the of the names that we've gotten? Xavi Alonso, Iraola. Who was the other one too? Why am I drawing? Marco Silva. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marco Silva. I mean, who do you lean towards? Not that it matters. In the grand scheme of things, we know it doesn't matter, but like, it kind of does.
Realistically, you probably want Xavi Alonso.
Do you think we realistically even have a chance, though?
I don't think so. Yeah. But like, you know, low-key, I know a lot of people don't like this opinion of mine. But if we truly want like some level of stability, right? And essentially, this will probably be like a pot style appointment, unfortunately. right? Because I'm not a big fan of the pot style of him, but I think Loki, this is what you need right now. Unironically, like Eddie Howe, Loki, unfortunately, would probably be the pick I would make. Only from like a short-term stability standpoint, because that's what you need right now. You need short-term stability right now. Because the thing is, like, if I go through the list for you, barring realistically Javi Alonso, if I bring in Iraola, is Iraola gonna, what's it called? Is Iraola gonna give us that level of stability that we need, right? To do that, we don't know that. Marco Silva already failed at being an upper level mid-table team in Everton, right? You saw what happened when he went from Watford to Everton. Is he going to be able to be able to hit that step again? I'm not sure. He's already failed once, and he could probably fail twice, right? Xavi Hernandez, I don't know. At Barcelona, you know what I mean? That's questionable. It's questionable, right? And preferably Javi Alonso will probably be my number one pick, right? But the problem is, right now in terms of the situation and stabilizing stuff, probably need a guy at least a bit more of experience in hand. And probably if Eddie Howe was available, Loki, for a short 1 to 2 season, you stabilize the ship. You get the team somewhat competent and stuff like that, and then you can bring in the experimental manager if you want to, at least. But I would understand if people are like, bring in the experimental manager, or the guy that you want to believe in right now, and start from the ground up. I think that is also fair. But I'm saying if the whole objective of the club is stability, you probably want to bring in a guy of experience.
I don't think Eddie Howe is a bad manager, because that's not the part where I disagree with you. Like, I feel like as a manager, what he's done for Newcastle, I think, goes a little under the radar. He won them their first trophy in God knows how many years. Actually has them competing in Champions League again. The problem with Eddie Howe that I am concerned with is exactly for Eddie Howe. I feel like it's a sideways move. Literally, it's like we're essentially right now. I feel like we're in Newcastle's position where I think next season I wouldn't be surprised if the team finds itself within the top 4, right? Because when they're up for it, when these players actually decide to try, and hopefully if a head coach comes in here and actually gets them motivated, then we have a decent team. We don't have a horrendously horrible team, just like this team is just not motivated right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if with less games in the schedule, with no Europe and all that stuff, you can find yourselves in how like United kind of bounced up, or Newcastle bounced up when they don't have Europe, in and amongst the top 4, top 5, right? And then once we get back into Europe, that's where Eddie Howe always finds himself in a situation he's in this season. Like, this is the second season now where he's been in Europe and a significant drop-off has happened in Newcastle. And that's concerning for me. Although, the one thing I will give Newcastle in terms of benefit of the doubt, and like I said, you hit a nail on the head. The one thing I'll give Newcastle as a benefit of the doubt, I don't think they got a single one of their number 1 targets in the summer, because the clout wasn't there. Like, just simple as the clout wasn't there. Like, they got snubbed by so many transfers. Like, so many teams just went up and just bullied them into these signings. So they ended up getting the team that they got. And yeah, Malik Chaw has been pretty good this season, but I don't know what's going on with Altamada. What's the other Alanga this season has been absolutely horrible.
A good thing to
That's
point
not spoken about at all.
I agree.
Horrible transfer window.
A key thing to point out is that Eddie Howe was essentially the one that was bringing the signings. I think if we had a competent sporting director that was bringing in like good signings and good players, I think probably he wouldn't be a bad option short term wise. Again, that's the key word. We need to look at it from a short term perspective, because right now our issues are much more immediate than they are medium to long term problems. Does that make sense? That we can at least focus upon. That's the thing. And again, like, it's all well and good if I say bring in Javi Hernandez, not Javi Hernandez, Javi Alonso, right? But am I gonna be able to provide for this guy the tools that he's gonna need, right? If I'm already seeing some of the transfers we're trying to make already, and I'm like, we're not like, if I give that to someone like Iraola who's just coming into the league and he's coming,
he won't complain, but
he won't complain. He's gonna struggle, right? Go ahead,
Ahmed.
I just think a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, it's just gonna handicap any manager that you bring in essentially, unless they're like of some level of experience essentially. Like they have to have some level of know-how to be able to handle this thing. That's why I can't like the experience point might be much bigger of a factor for the head coach than I think we realize because of the guys we're bringing in, unfortunately.
Well, let me ask you this, and I'll open this up to the callers. Obviously, Hassan and JC, you guys are here. Feel free to hop in whenever. But like, let me ask you this: it doesn't have to be Maresca, right? In terms of a project manager, right? There's obviously going to be the highs and the lows, and we've seen with Arteta. I'm not saying I'm trying to be like Arsenal or Arteta. I feel like we can, if Chelsea are gonna do a project, it's got to be better than Arsenal's. But you can see the positives in Arsenal's project. Arteta went through a really bad slump of games in the very beginning, struggled with the team, but over the time, as they've gone patient and stuff, we've seen how the manager can adapt the project and adapt the system and get results. And Maresca, obviously, 1 win in 9, not a good not a good stat at all. But given that the next manager could be, let's just say Iraola, for example. Iraola, this season, for Bournemouth in the beginning, was facing relegation. Like early in the beginning of the season, Iraola was down in the dumps.
Yeah, he
right?
lost like 6 or 7 games in a row, I know.
And even if you remember too, Emery too, with Aston Villa in the very beginning of the season, super rough run of results, not favoring at all, ended up being very close to the bottom of the table. If Chelsea fans, which are Chelsea fans, are going to be the way they are, people would want him sacked. Do you think that we should be a little bit more patient now with whoever comes in?
I mean, we have to be patient. We've been patient. The problem is, yes, but I don't think the patience is there. That's the best way to put it. Does that make sense?
Which is, I mean, you're exactly right, and that's the really fucking shitty
right?
part. That
the problem is
the next manager has to deal with.
I think a lot of people are willing to be patient with Poch, because I think a lot of people saw the signs we made, and I think the idea was like, these guys are going to develop this season, and the next season we can push on, right? Mm-hmm. Of course, that did not necessarily happen, all right? Then you had Maresca, where it kind of supercharged it to get to top 4, right? But obviously, you see in this season, it's gone to absolute hell, right? Essentially, So again, like our guys got to be willing again to on this whoever the new manager is to be like, you know what? Bring in the young lads. We're gonna wait another 3-4 seasons. I don't think so. Remember, it's been almost now a decade. It's gonna be a decade now since we last won the Premier League 2. I think that's not spoken about enough from a Chelsea perspective too.
Ahmed, it's also been about 8 to 9 years without a domestic trophy. We've lost 4, maybe 5 domestic finals in a row.
With the domestic stuff. With the domestic stuff,
we've been papering over cracks. Sorry to cut you off, Ahmed. It's because we won the Champions League, the World Cup, and the Conference League. We've not really been talking about it. But if you take them away, we've been atrocious in the domestic stuff.
No. I was just gonna mention that I think with the domestic stuff, even though you're not wearing it, I think as long as you're like even making finals, I think for me, and you're being competitive, I don't necessarily have that level of issue, because the gap can be, yes, you can not have won it for a while, but at least if you're still being competitive enough to actually get into these finals, and it's just you not winning it, I think it's slightly different for me personally. But
I understand that, but it gets to a point now where you're losing 4 or 5 finals in a row. Like, at what point is it going to be a breaking point? You know? Like, we can't just be there. Like, Spurs, I'm sure that we laugh at Spurs for reaching finals and not, getting it over the line. We're just going to end up turning into another Spurs. But that's a topic that I'll delve on later. But sorry to cut you off, Ahmed.
That's kind of a emotional way of looking at those. Cups competitions are not that serious in England. Like, you play 1 or 2 good teams, and if you beat 2 reasonable teams, you're in final.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? Finals. We have been shit as a team.
Agreed.
All these years. The only phase was where we had a proper manager. Maresca out. So, and to be honest, let's talk about the future managers. I'll just say one line about Maresca, because he's gone. I said he's gone. I will not speak much about him. Maresca out people built their own rope to hang themselves. Maresca is coming back at City, and they will be hanging them again and again and again and again. We'll see that. I finish here with Maresca. If you look at all the managers and if you look at how they play, let me start by this. Giving time, stability, winners and all that, it doesn't matter. If the manager is shit, he should be sacked. Don't waste a minute. If you are not capable of hiring and evaluating whether a manager and his style will fit or not, sack the director who's hiring him. The only time these directors took 3 months, 4 months to find a proper manager, they did find one. It was Maresca. So I hope they are doing the properly this time, because these owners, they don't know anything about how a club is run. They intervene in everything. They don't even understand football, a sport, any sport is competitive like animals in the jungle. And there are hierarchies there. And you don't go into the locker rooms, you don't intervene, you put in the people in right places and you let them do their jobs. You don't go after a loss trying to support those players. I mean, the players need a shouting at that time. Don't intervene what the manager is trying to do. So that's the problem of our club right now. As for the managers, let's start with any manager. Marshall, name me any manager. I'll tell him how he plays, his philosophy, and which players of our squad will fit and which will be surplus to requirements. And where we will succeed and where we will fail.
Iraola
is the least amount I can say about, but he got a team. He made them play well. He gelled that team. And he's a guy who commands respect in that locker room. If he's asked to come here, I think probably he's the most unknown part. But if he is giving the authority and zero interference, he can do really good here. The only thing I do not know about him is I have seen him succeed in one way and let the players express themselves, put a system in place where everybody is thriving. Can he make adaptations? I do not know that. I have seen only one way of tiki-taka, fast-moving, expansive, expressing and like going for the attack. He's been good in that. Does our squad fit for that? Our squad has holes. So I don't know. And if he tells in that locker room at Bournemouth a player to punch another player, or like punch somebody in the management, the players would die for him. That authority comes with respect and with results, and let him do his job. These buggers are on top, they will not let him work there. That's my main problem with that.
Well, that's the problem any I think head coach is going to have to face.
Yes, and there is quite a lot of unknown with him, because with Maresca there was a positive. I knew he could change the play, like Tuchel. He could change the system. I've not seen what Iraola can change.
What scares me about Iraola, besides the fact that I feel like his training is going to be too intense for this team, you mentioned it, the open, expansive, express yourself football in this team with our defenders.
It has many holes.
God.
I think it's more than just
get
our
destroyed.
defenders.
Okay, name me the next manager. Name me the next
Let Ahmed
before JC goes, I think it's just more than even just our defenders. It's also look at our attackers. Can the attackers we have
midfield?
Before we get to midfield, can the attackers you have express themselves?
He does move. He does like to move the ball fast, which we have. Okay, can we go to the next manager? I don't want to be taking too much time. So name me any of the other managers in on our list.
Alonso, go ahead.
Xavi Alonso. He started playing. He builds up with a 3-2-5. The 3-2 are rotating. The left back will rotate into the midfield. The midfielder can go back. They go in circle clockwise. And he needs players who can play in any position in the back five. Then in the later stage, he will have a loading of the right side. The right side will be going in circles. The right back will become center back. The center back can go to the midfield. The midfielder can go up to the right back, right winger. They all go in circles. And on the left side, he kept the width all the time. Half of the pitch is rotating in circles, creating chaos for the others. How do you mark somebody when every player can play every position in that half? And on the other half, they are holding we played that kind of football. It gave us results. Under Maresca we played, and we played under Posh also this type of football a little bit. But we were figured out, and we were heavy on the right side. We were going Gusto, Palmer, and all that stuff. Or then he adapted a little bit. Later on, he was playing 4-2-4. He had this Xhaka and the guy who's in Liverpool. They were the two ones connecting the midfield with the back line with the forwards. He can play that style as well. Now, what players will he like? The players who can play many positions and who rotate and who read the game. His favorites will be Enzo Fernandez. Now, hear me out. You have been saying Xavi Alonso. Let me tell you who are going to be his favorite players. Reece James, who can play midfield, who can play right wing, who can play right back. It will be Gusto. It will be Enzo Fernandez. It will be players who can rotate. Are you going to accept that? And then Xavi Alonso has a problem. He went to Real Madrid. He wanted Zubimendi or somebody in the midfield to play a similar style so that he could control that thing. He was not given that. He was given totally different players, no control over transfers. He flopped. What tells you that he comes here and he will be listened to? And he is also a manager who likes to put it on the floor, take it on the wide areas, and tap in goals. So this is Xavi Alonso. Whether he fits in, yes, he can fit in. We have the players for that. We have Estevao, we have Palmer. He can rotate the right side. We have Reece James there. We have. Hear me out now. You might not like it. We have Gusto there. We have Enzo Fernandez there. You don't like that to hear that, but these are the players he will like.
The thing is, it's just a matter like if. And neither should they if Chelsea fans are going to have patience for the next Chelsea coach, because quite frankly, like all this process, all this gelling, all this figuring out the system, figuring out the league, it's going to take time. There's going to be losses. There's going to continue to be probably protests as well. Like it's going to, whoever it is, they just have to be able to muscle the fact that you're just going to have to go through a really rough time at Chelsea.
Sorry to intervene here. The patience word sounds good, but it should be justified. Having patience with Rosenior was a disaster. Having patience with Potter was a disaster. You don't have patience where you don't need to be. He should be fired the next day because you know you hired the wrong manager. Look at Erik ten Hag. He was fired after 3 games. They realized it's a mistake. Fire him, put another one in.
Well, if it's that drastic of a mistake, sure. But, like, I'm talking about going through the similar run that Arteta, for example, had, getting to the point where he got to. Like, when he started off at Arsenal, it was fucking horrible. 8th place that first season, then 5th again, then, no, it was 8th again, I think, and then 5th maybe. It took a while, and they went through a really rough patch, and I'm not saying Chelsea should have to. I'm not saying that we will. I think next season, potentially, if these players decide to get their fucking head out of their asses, will actually be, I would hope, a comfortable top 5, top 4. Or at least somewhere within there competing for it. Not unlike this season where we're just fucking free falling down the table.
Like Arteta was working with the director hand in hand. We don't have such setup.
Yeah, but it's again like patience to go through a tough run. I know you agree with this, JC. I know you agree with this, JC. But I'm gonna tell you, like, would you have had the patience to just keep going with Maresca even though he was 1 win in 9?
That was a time when the relationship with the hierarchy was broken. He was already out of here. He wanted
would you have been patient as a Chelsea fan?
I was still patient, but like at the last few games, I said like, okay, and he is totally out of his mind is out of here now. If he goes, I will not shed a tear because he himself has decided this is not for me. And that's why we lost all those games. Because the relationship was already broken at the beginning of December when this 48 hours comment came. After that, it went down off a cliff. If after that he's losing the games, I partly blame the management as well. And whatever it is, it's not only the footballing on the pitch. It's an outcome or a reaction of what goes on in the hierarchy. Okay, let's talk about next manager. Xavi Hernandez.
Yeah, I mean,
Tiki-taka, triangles, slow.
Big up
build-up.
Staffy. Big up
Xavi
Staffy.
Hernandez, I just don't think really is going to realistically happen at Chelsea. I'm hearing a lot about Marco Silva, to be fair.
I don't think Marco Silva is not
Marco
gonna happen
Silva
either.
is same as Javi Hernandez.
He's been mentioned multiple
Tiki-taka,
times.
build up,
I think.
but 10 times slower. 10
You know
times
what?
slower.
Sorry, JC. Do you know why I don't think Marco Silva happens? Marco Silva, generally, in my personal opinion, is the plan C. No joke. I genuinely believe Marco Silva is plan C, bro. Like, I feel like he is he's like, if Rayola fails, if they can't get their main target, like even Javi Alonso, yeah, maybe even Felipe Luis, I think might be ahead of him. I'm not kidding when I say that to you, by the way, because I saw he was in London yesterday.
Was
as well.
he?
Yeah, he was in London because there was a picture of him, Thiago Silva,
cool.
just from yesterday.
No, do you think they are this smart, Ahmed, that they will have plan A, B, C? They are just collecting names. They have to,
unfortunately, do you know what I think that is? I think for me, in their mind, it seems, at least for them, in my personal opinion, they can't get
more,
their.
I'll tell you how it is. Because I'm more confident. I put tasks to my team, and I know where people are just collecting numbers, or there are people who are trying to execute something. These directors have been told to find some candidates. They cannot find candidates. They are trying to collect as many names as possible. And these are the managers. He's making the numbers. Marco Silva is one of those who just makes up the numbers. We have 5 managers. So he's one of those 5. Oh, we have 5 managers. So many managers. He's just making the numbers there. He is not experienced in Europe. His tiki-taka style is slow. It will be like we will be mid-table or maybe going for Europa League.
I mean, we're mid-table now. So it makes no difference.
At least Javi, like for the Barcelona guy, he will be like also slow build up, but like the ball moving will be faster, and we will be very high line. We don't have the defenders for that, and we don't have the goalkeeper for that.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too. What's gonna happen with
Marshall,
the
I'm so sorry, bro. Can you block not a meeting? Because I'm kind of getting irritated, bro. I'm getting a bit tired, bro. Like every show, Armour's around, Armour against administration. Can we? I think we've spoken about that more than enough, bro. Please just give up, bro. It gets tiring, innit? I'm just been ignoring the whole.
Yeah,
I get tired.
Don't mind, man. These are people get emotional, but that's okay.
I'm not even emotional, bro. I'm just it's like half the comments, bro. He's the only one that's doing it.
Chill,
All right,
man.
so
Chill.
You know what, Lewis, man?
You want me to ban Lewis too?
Listen, guess what, Lewis? Yeah, Maresca is a fraud. Hold that, mate. Maresca's a fraud.
You're the worst.
I'll tell you, Maresca, had he got a pay
moving like
rise,
Mbappe, man. He's moving like Mbappe, man. Get rid of them all.
Ahmed, I'm telling you, if Maresca had been given 2 center backs, and had he been given a pay rise of whatever he was asking, we would be in a much, much better. Will you agree? We will be in Champions League, at least.
I don't think. I think it's more complicated.
It'd be a little bit more competitive.
I think the problem with Maresca, and I think you're always in the stream. You know my opinion of him, right? I think the issue with him was that obviously the run was occurring at the time, right? Yeah. And I think last year, in my personal opinion, if you look at last year specifically, obviously the situation, at least behind the scenes, was like a bit more positive, right? It seemed that he was still, the players and him were together. He himself mentally was more so focused on the job. Yes, he was making errors at the time, but I felt like he was able to overcome it at the end, right? Because the players were playing for him. Does that make sense? Like last year,
I would say, I would put it differently. Last year he had challenges, especially with the injuries to the forwards. He
Yes,
somehow
sure.
maneuvered that. He built a team spirit in that.
yes,
He managed the squad well. The squad was together, and they looked at him as a father figure.
I think yes, I think that's fair.
And
I
that's
think
very important when you're building a team and a squad.
that's why last year I didn't really have any negative comments on Roscoe. I was always like, let's hope the job can just get done. I think the player was just letting him down, my personal opinion, last year
Sure.
more than anything, right? Jackson, we talked about Jackson last season, we could talk about Palmer last season, and some of the stuff that was occurring from their side at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Madueke, etc., etc. I think what happened this season, though, Marshall, was that it was clear, obviously, we spoke about the transfer window and him not getting centre back, right? But then I also think he himself then started, mentally having doubts about stuff that was going on, right? That kind of, in my personal opinion, started even spreading to the players, right? You could see it in some of their performances, some of the ways they were playing themselves, and then obviously he's then doing stuff behind the scenes, which is like, I'm starting to talk to other clubs, I'm starting to negotiate, he was essentially starting to trying to find a way out.
There were rumors of him trying to sabotage things as well. So I
Yeah,
do think there is elements of that truth.
I don't know if he was sabotaging. I don't think
Maresca making the sabotage.
I don't think Maresca was necessarily sabotaging, but I think more so Maresca was looking out for himself at that point.
No, but
right?
that's what I said, Ahmed. There's
Yeah,
probably
because,
elements of truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
elements
yeah.
of truth.
Exactly, yeah. I think does that, and the moment you start looking out for yourself more than the club, people can hate me for saying that. Listen, people can hate me for saying that. You can say I'm doing click PR, but the moment you start
These
doing that,
statements,
you
I
start getting
consider
trouble.
them, and unless they have a logical justification, I call it just speculative.
Yeah, but there is logic to this. He started.
Explain me the logic.
The logic is he was obviously speaking to other clubs. He wasn't happy with his position at the club, right? I also think
Yeah, but our club was also speaking to De Zerbi.
Yeah, because he started speaking to other, because he initially told
No,
them
first our director started speaking with De Zerbi.
No. So
Yes, during the
that's
summer
the
they did that.
No, they don't speak to him in the summer. That's not true. The thing that everyone was always getting crazy about is the game against Strasbourg versus Marseille.
He asked for a pay rise.
No,
It's a tactic, and that's absolutely fine.
I don't mind that.
I'll tell you what was this. I'll tell you exactly factually. Let me tell you this factually, like he was talking to the other clubs. He had in his contract that the moment some club approaches him, he has to inform, or his agent has to inform Chelsea. Manchester City inquired about him from his agent, and his agent informed Chelsea.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You can't say it's speculative while using speculative news as well. Like you can't bash Ahmed for it as well.
No, but this is something coming from these guys.
Yeah, I want to hear Ahmed's side now.
No. Listen, listen again. I think this is what I'm gonna kind of like explain what happened. Yeah, I think this is me trying to be as logical as possible here. The transfer window occurs.
Just 1 second. I will tell you why I'm saying it's what I said was not speculative. It was.
I'm not even disagreeing with you.
Or Matt Law. It was. I will refer to them. Those were my resources where I heard that there were 3 issues. De Zerbi, City approached his agent, and they informed Chelsea, like City has inquired about.
He informed them. Yeah, he informed them. He had to inform them if they ever got an approach.
So that's not speculation anymore.
Yeah,
that's factual then.
Yeah, that's why. I'm only talking about the factual parts here. So essentially, we all know what the case was. He wanted another centre back. Even when Cole got injured, by the way, he still wanted a centre back before Cole got injured. By the way, that's something that I think we all forget. Even before Cole got injured, he was like, we need another centre back. Obviously, that did not happen, and that was like his initial rift with the club. I think that's fair to say, no?
That's fair. And he also asked for a pay rise.
Yeah, of course. That and you know what? I can agree to that too. You won't see me disagree. Obviously, you just won the Club World Cup. He won the Conference League. I think that's all fair enough.
And also, like he was on a half salary with twice the length of Pochettino's contract.
Yes, good point. No, everything here. I'm trying to be fair to obviously Maresca here. Obviously the season goes on. We had a
And
good
then
start to
he
the season.
also overachieved in his first year. All his targets.
Yeah, we already said that. That's fine. I'm talking about.
So where was he wrong?
Bro, we just talked about the initial part of the season, bro. We haven't even got anywhere. The problem became as this early in the season, like at least from October onwards, it became clear that I don't know whatever him and the club was negotiating. Like him and the club was negotiating, obviously at the time. But then obviously City came along, and I think it was Juve at the time came along too, because Juve had just sacked. I think
Yeah, they gave it to you. There was some talk about that. Yeah.
Igor Tudor got sacked, and everything like that, right? And essentially, the conversation was being had there. He obviously informed the conversation was being had there, and it clearly seemed that he was happy to have these conversations at the time as well. Okay, that was occurring, and then also whilst that was also occurring, again. What gets happened? We then obviously started having shaky form at the time. Remember that was 2, right? The shaky form started happening.
You mean the first 3 months of the season?
From October onwards. I'm talking from October onwards, bro. The first
so from start of the season until December, I remember we had discussions other than like even including Manchester United, which was a red card, but also his mistake of going too defensive. We were on record in all those post-match streams. We put like 5 games on his errors. Bayern Munich was another one. Manchester United was one. There were 5 games which were put on him.
Sunderland was another one as well, if I'm not mistaken, no?
Probably, I don't remember everyone. But
either way,
I remember like we counted 5 games in 3 months.
He was making mistakes, essentially. There's no denying. What was your point?
But like the point I'm making is after October, the form clearly declined for us. That's objectively true, right? That's and obviously there was that stuff going on in the background. He then, I think, exacerbated the situation, right? Whether we want to be honest or not, right? When he said I had the worst 48 hours of my career. Okay, we have to be fair.
That's the bar.
We have to be fair, guys. Yeah, we have to. I'm trying to be fair here. Yeah. He exacerbated the situation there. That was a crazy bar to make. Yeah, and then. And that was him basically, essentially setting alight everything that was going on.
When did he say that? Fire. It was before the losing stream of December?
It was before the Leeds game.
It was in December, but it was after the Leeds game.
It was just at the start. We didn't have that losing stream.
Was it not Everton?
No.
No, you're right. It was Everton. It was Everton.
It was after. It was Everton. I
swear it was a Leeds game.
So we had lost how many games?
Because remember Leeds, I think I can't remember.
No. Before Leeds, he didn't get the thing, and then he said it before. I think he said it before Leeds game, because I remember I went to that game. We got pumped.
So the stream started after the statement.
I'm pretty sure it was Everton.
So the losing stream started after the statement, mostly.
No,
it wasn't really a losing streak. He just wasn't winning
I'll quickly
games.
Ahmed, if you could quickly double check.
I'll double check that while you guys are talking.
Yeah, because I was gonna double check, but then I saw you on your keyboard.
Thanks, man.
It's
I do think it was the game
what I'm
after
trying
we
to
won.
Say is,
so essentially,
the relationship broke down, which resulted on the results on the pitch. If this statement was the first thing when came out, of course there might have been things going on behind the backs.
That's when the club started to look at Rossini and all these lot as replacements.
Yeah. So I mean, this again. I come back to this. Our management, the club management, is a circus, man. They can't keep a.
It's true.
And that's the main fault. I would even blame Maresca for that.
Let's let Gaming for Life talk. I know he's we've been talking too much, so let's get him in.
What do you got to say, Gaming for Life? Talk to me.
Big up, everyone. This management search is just, bro. I think we don't search for anyone, because to be honest, whoever's gonna come in is gonna get sacked within the second season mid, and then we're gonna do the same thing, hire another manager, and hire another manager, bro. It's just like we keep sacking managers for the fun of it.
But we didn't sack Maresca. That's the problem.
No. I know he left, but I'm saying, like, in terms of if he doesn't go, we will just sack him.
To be fair, we also didn't sack Pochettino. He walked away. So I think the ownership have always wanted to be patient and wait for the manager or give it time, which is kind of the theme of what I was getting at earlier, right? Is the fans also have to be patient. But I think the micromanaging and all the, because listen, I know people are still in denial. I feel like the management or the board still have influence as to who plays and who gets rotated in and out of the team. They're in the locker room, they're in the briefings, they're talking to the coaches after the game, before the game. Like they're in their ear. They're in their ear. And I think that's a big part of why Maresca wanted to leave. I think that's a big part of why Pochettino wanted to leave as well. Pochettino literally came out and said, "Oh, our visions weren't the same. We thought we were in good progress, but they had it's a difference of opinion." So he left it before it got too messy. But regardless, like I don't know. I think they're willing to give a head coach time. They just haven't found a head coach is patient enough to deal with their bullshit.
I personally don't trust this ownership and these directors. I think recruitment has been the big issue. When Maresca asked them, "I need a centre back, I need a goalkeeper because Kowa was injured." Nah, we'll leave you with Tosin. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely.
Internal solutions, they asked. Look for internal solutions.
And look at Kowa. Look at Kowa. He comes off from an injury and looks better than Tosin and Chalobah, which is absolutely embarrassing.
On one knee. Pretty much. With one knee.
Which is crazy.
We got to pause that one still.
By the way, Ahmad, if Xavi Alonso comes, Achimpong is starting a lot more games because he can play in a lot of position, right wing, back.
I don't think he will.
He's pretty flexible.
Well, you think he's gone gaming for life? I'm assuming.
I think for me, if he wants to play more games, then he's got to go because I don't think they'll play. Bro, they'll play him 2 games a year, and boom, he's done.
If I'm Achimpong, I'm leaving. I'll be
yeah, exactly. He's not gonna play.
They promised him extra game time this season, and look at that's gone. He's gotten no more or less what he had this last season. Same exact amount of time, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I could probably look this up. You can go on Transfer Market and look at it. But I'm pretty sure Josh Achimpong has played literally the same amount of minutes as last season. Well, not probably, but probably really close.
But I think Maresca played him more a little bit. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 1,216 in this season. Let me change this to last season. Where is it? But yeah, I wouldn't blame him if he left. It's actually embarrassing that, again, we have solutions like Jesse Derry that we just decide, okay, let's not use him. Because we all know Garnacho's been absolutely ass, and we just opt not to use it.
It should have not even happened in the first place, but here we are.
Well, yeah, here we are. Which is what makes me nervous about the ownership, because on one hand, yeah, maybe they're learning their lessons. This is all just mistakes. None of it was intentional. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know. It seems like you're using the club to make a lot of money and give yourselves raises and just running it to the ground.
Do you know what I think? I've been saying this from the start.
Oh, okay. So here it is, by the way, before you continue gaming for life. Last season, Achimpong played 1,324 minutes. This season, he's played 1,216. In fact, he's played less minutes this season than he did last season. So, yeah, I would want to leave if I was Achimpong. Don't blame me whatsoever. What you were saying?
I was basically saying, I've been saying this from the start. I think these owners just care about buying kids and selling them and making profit, just making money for themselves. That's just my opinion.
Probably. I don't disagree. I mean, everything we've seen so far has kind of been in that sort of direction, right? I mean, again, I said this yesterday, or 2 days ago, I should say. It's all gonna be this summer, literally this summer. It's make or break. You either fix the team and you show that, okay, we're trying to put this in the right direction and we're trying to fix the problems, or you double down on what you did last summer. All this PR about you've learned your lessons. Oh, we've realized we've made some mistakes. We're gonna take somewhat of a different approach. We're gonna stick to the model, but we're gonna tweak the model. All these buzzwords. Okay, and if you double down and do the same exact fucking thing, we get even worse. We become permanently a mid-table team.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that shows everything.
look at the players we're having to come from like loans and players we bought, like the kids that come in this summer. We got to sell half of them for them to go,
Yeah,
and half of them are going to go on loan again.
yeah.
Which is,
I do think there's some players that do get sold though.
Yeah, Disasi's gone.
The Saucy's gone, and it's. I don't think it'll be much trouble to get rid of him. Really, he's actually been decent at West Ham.
Tostin has to go.
Yeah,
He's played less games, Tostin.
yeah.
Like,
Who else?
bro, and for some reason, why would you drop Hato, who's been our best left back, which it has been?
I think that's player power. I'll be so real with you.
There is some internal politics going on, I think, in the squad.
JC. I think there's internal politics.
There are different groups and all.
Which is why I know I was emotional in the last stream, but I still believe that when you see a team play the way that they play, even though Enzo Fernandez didn't necessarily have a terrible game against Nottingham Forest, when you see the rest of the team play the way they do, you got to look at the leadership too. That translates from the leadership. And Enzo Fernandez, I think, once all that stupid shit that came out after PSG, once the stupid stuff came out about Real Madrid and all that stuff, I think that translated and reverberated across the dressing room. And I think part of the team decided, you know what, if Enzo's not going to try, why should we? I mean, he's right to leave.
It's opposite, Marshall. If you look at that game, I saw so many times Enzo opening up and giving Palmer the pass. But when it came to Palmer, he was doing his own thing. There was Enzo in the middle of the pitch, up front. Palmer could have easily passed, but he just cut in, and passed on. It is like Palmer was trying to impress Tuchel. I think you are saying the right thing, but on the wrong person.
No, but Palmer's not a leader in the dressing room.
Enzo was spreading the passes. Enzo was trying. Palmer was doing self-promotion there.
Sure. Again, I'm not criticizing the performance that Enzo had, but what I am criticizing is the leadership to get the rest of the team to step the fuck up.
Yeah,
to get Palmer to get his head out of his ass, to walk around the pitch and be invisible when he should be more involved in the match.
Marshall, he did that already. I explained also in the last stream.
He's not a good leader.
He did complain. He did demand players in the locker room, and there were reports. Again, it's speculative because I have not seen it from Ornstein or some valid source. But it was after PSG game, especially after like Jurgensen. He had a go at Jurgensen, and he was also shouting a lot in the locker room, demanding players to raise their level. There were many players. The reports were there are many players in the squad not happy with Enzo Fernandez with his behavior in the locker room. What the fuck is that?
Do you know what we're missing? We're missing like a Thiago Silva who was a leader. Even when he wasn't the captain, he was just telling people what to do. He was shouting at them. Even like Rudiger.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if there is internal politics and if you try to demand performance and then if you are sidelined, then next time you're not going to do that.
I agree. I just think, again, you as a leader should be able to... You could talk all the talk you want to talk. That's fine. But on the pitch, you should be able to elevate the rest of the team as well. I understand. Yeah. Like, Palmer has not been performing well. But for Palmer to disappear in those matches, that's where a leader like Enzo should be able to step up and get Palmer to be more involved. Same thing goes with the wings and all the rest of the team. Lavia, Caicedo. Like, again, a leader is supposed to lead by example and also elevate your squad. You look at Sunderland when Granit Xhaka's there and when he's not. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So, again, and Granit Xhaka's not necessarily a great player, but when he's there on the pitch, Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. Like, this is just, again, you don't have... The quality doesn't need to be there. It's the leadership abilities that need to be there. And with the way the team has been playing lately and how they just kind of don't seem to care... I think as soon as Enzo decided I'm going to give up on the team, which he essentially did by coming out of the PSG game and saying, oh, I'm not sure what my future holds, whatever. He said, right now, I don't know what can happen with my contract.
Also, yeah? partly. Also
Yeah, that happened after the PSG game, where everything started after the PSG game, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, because there were some fights, internal fights, I think.
Yeah. Again,
And
he's
he said,
being
like,
a
fuck
agenda
it, I'm out
merchant.
of it.
I've defended Enzo on here for so many different arguments.
I still defend.
Yeah.
Like, it's something similar. The fans leave stadium. Are you gonna criticize them? So
Isn't that what
Enzo
I
is
said?
also leaving the stadium because he's fed up.
Yeah.
So you don't criticize him. You actually, if you need leaders, if I have in my team like one player, one manager who's performing really well, if needed, he will do some other task needed just so that the company grows. There are 5 other colleagues come and start complaining about him because our work-life balance is disturbed because he's doing so much and we don't like it. So what do? As the manager, do I listen to those 5 or I listen to the one who is working hard? But
You
if
know-
as a manager, Rosinier or whoever it was, or as these directors, if they are about like all this good vibes, good faith, good environment, if you lose, we go there to support them and all that stuff. I mean, the guy who's working hard is saying, where am I stuck? This is a losers club.
You know, I think for me the issue in regards to player power and background politics, at Chelsea, I'm like, unless your name is Reece James, with all due respect, I'm not trying to hear anything from you. I'm gonna be very honest. I don't care
100% agree with this.
that's just listen, if I'm a player and Toshi is trying to tell what to do, I'm like, who do you think you are, bro? You're on the same level and you're just older. I'm sorry to say it, bro. Like, if that was, it's like some of the players we have here are just wild people. I'm sorry to say it. Like, it's easy to talk about here, but we got 50 points for Fana, okay? His agent is trying to haul himself out to Barcelona, bro. Okay, that's just one of the players that we've got in the locker room. That's apparently meant to be like a big voice, right? The other guy that you've got next to him, Enzo Fernandez. Listen, Enzo Fernandez, he's giving me GNA. I said this before. Enzo Fernandez is generally the equivalent of what's it called? The equivalent exchange. Okay, he will give me GNA on one side, but he will concede GNA on the other side, bro. You know what I mean? That's literally what Enzo Fernandez does.
How
to
many
me, bro.
mistakes this season has he made that have led to the goals?
I can check for you right now. I'll give you the stat right now.
Yeah, please check that. Meanwhile, I'll explain you what Enzo Fernandez game is. A
They got
clear
this guy-
example.
Yeah,
People say he likes
runs
to
into the
bomb. No,
box.
he does not like to
He
bomb
runs into
forward.
a box to score, man. And that's all he does, man.
What he does is, whenever one team is out of shape, there's a missing player, he will take that place. When the last game we scored against Leeds, or who it was, Leeds, I think, João Pedro made the ball steal, gave it to the other Pedro, and we had a striker who was way behind. So who was in the front? Enzo was there. If there is a player who's missing on the left wing because he's covering or he has cut in inside, you will find Enzo going there. If you will have somebody struggling to build up from the back, who will you find there? Enzo Fernandez will find there. By the way, Ahmed, while you are looking, look at the statistics. In our team, who has run the most in games this season? Every game
And
game
if
after
you're
game
asking
after
for a
game
player
after
to
game.
defend,
He
Enzo
takes
will
the
not
team.
be there.
He is the team taker. And as for the people who say he likes to bomb, no. When there is a space there and there is nobody there, he will be there. He's there because he's taking a shape of the team. He's maintaining the attack.
You find it, Ahmed?
So you look
I
at it
can't.
only like
I'm looking at-
GA. You don't look at the other structure of the team,
Wait.
which he contributes to.
I actually disagree with that one a little bit because I looked at it. Optics only show me the team's errors leading to go. They don't show me necessarily the players' error leading to go. Maybe it's a stat that I can't necessarily find personally. I'm originally
Look at the game as a team.
But
Look
listen,
at those
this-
statistics which I told you.
Wait, time out. Yes, I understand football is a team game, but if we look at the way our midfield is constructed, for example, right, you have Caicedo, okay? We are asking Caicedo to be a lone six, right? And what happens? Enzo usually will go into the final third. He will either try to obviously to help facilitate right? Or what he most of the time would do is that he would essentially obviously make that late run into the box to score. That's the two main things he does essentially in our.
That's a
attacking phase.
pattern you're talking. I'm saying the team shape, and why do you think managers are asking
talking about
that?
the player.
So you are talking about a pattern, and I'm talking about strategically shape. And why do you think manager after manager after manager, every manager is more relying on Enzo to do that part?
Because if they put Enzo in that 6 role, we know what happens. Unfortunately,
No, they can put him on the bench.
Yes, they do.
They can put him on the bench.
Listen, we just literally spoke about player politics, ownership and stuff. Are we gonna put 105 M's on the bench? Come on, bro.
It's not logical. No,
that is logic.
It's not a logical argument.
Enzo Fernandez is
and I tell you, there is not a comparison between Enzo and Caicedo. It's the way we play, and the roles they make are different roles.
Bro, Enzo's not that type of player that we don't rate him that high as you do, man.
No, I can tell
don't
you.
think-
About, name me another player. I will tell you what other players are, roles that they have been doing. It does not mean I rate him very high. I am saying at the moment, the players we have, he's the best in that role. You find another one, I will rate him higher if
So
he's better
is
than
Caicedo,
Enzo. At the
so is
moment in our
Palmer.
squad, the role,
Oh, yeah.
which is like taking different positions, he's the best in
I
that
am-
area of the pitch.
in my
Palmer
personal-
on the right side is trying to do the same things right now.
Tommy, what are you saying, bro?
Listen, so a couple of things here. I am talking about Enzo's role in the team. Our team is structured around Enzo. It's something that I think we've spoken about multiple times in the stream, that we structure our play around Enzo Fernandez, okay? And that does
what we are
harm and
talking
hinder,
about, yeah?
and that harms and hinders was it could plays. We have to shape it around Enzo, particularly because unfortunately, if we try to play him a bit more in a deeper role, right, we know what happens. He cannot defend. He's not good enough of a defender.
No, defensively he's horrific.
Yes, that is just we're trying to be honest, objective here, okay?
But
And I
that's
think
what I'm
He's
part-
like a Fabregas.
Ahmad,
He's like a
Ahmad,
Fabregas.
That's exactly I'm trying to say. Do you think every team plays only like this is your position, this is your runs, and this is the only place you can play as a player? Players don't rotate, team shape don't change.
No. My point is, I think his overall play is a hindrance to our team. It hinders too many players for me. That's my main issue with Enzo, actually, more than anything else. Okay, Caicedo, I think, is actually kind of been very limited because of Enzo Fernandez. I actually think, if we were able to actually play him in a bit more of an advanced 8 role, and he had another 8 on the other side next to him, and then you probably had a 6. But hopefully, if Lavia stays fit, if you were to bring in Adam Morton,
Ahmad, that's
I
why I
generally
was
think.
giving you. Let me give you the question again. Let me repeat you the question. Then why do you think every manager after manager, even Maresca and now, they keep using Enzo in that role instead of not using Caicedo and putting Enzo on bench if Enzo cannot perform on 6?
And I gave you the answer already. Enzo Fernandez cannot be put on the bench, bro, long term. We have to also be honest about that, guys, okay? We have paid a big amount of money. That's the equivalent of us here. Enzo Fernandez is the second most expensive signing at the football club. There is no way.
If Enzo Fernandez goes on the bench, is Javier Pastore throws a fit.
And
to
back up Ahmed's point,
we are also tanking him.
Richie
We would
Ronaldo.
also tank it. Objectively, guys, we would also tank his value. That would be tanking, essentially, from their perspective, Enzo Fernandez's value.
Even Caicedo, we can't bench him because we paid 150 million for him.
Exactly.
Have we seen Caicedo perform like that at Brighton or anywhere?
1 second. Can I just reply to this comment quickly? Vitinha isn't a good defensive midfielder yet. It doesn't matter because he plays for a better team. Do you know what Vitinha has that Enzo Fernandez doesn't have? Vitinha is a much better much better possession holder. He has a good lower sense of gravity, in my personal opinion.
No,
too.
you didn't understand my question.
No, I'm not talking to you. So,
My question
Hold on, he's
JC,
going to answer your question in a minute. Hold
Jason,
on,
I'm going to ask you a question. I'm talking to the comment. Yeah, he has a good low sense of gravity. He's able to actually cover ground quite fast too. That's something underrated about Vitinha. And the other thing is, look at. I think for me, he has a much better reading of the game than Enzo Fernandez too. Look at the way he reads the game. He's much like, the thing is, when you're a small, short player like him, like Jorginho was as well, you have to be able to analyze the game, and then just know to pick the right spot, or calculate the right spot to actually go into and steal the ball from them. That's what Jorginho, like 60-70% of the time, would get a run. would get it right. That's the thing. The problem is Enzo athletically isn't that great. A lot of people we can criticize Enzo. We can. He's athletically he doesn't do that sort of thing. Okay, that is what I'm talking about. I've said this before. If I put Enzo Fernandez in any other league, generally speaking, except for the EPL, he would be amazing in that 6 role. Unfortunately for us, when in the EPL, he does not
Enzo
work.
is not a 6.
But he would be a 6 in other club. In other teams, they would play him in the 6 role. Yes, he would.
No, he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. He's more like a 8.
For me, he's a 6, a deep line playmaker. He would play as a deep line playmaker, bro.
He is not a defensive midfielder sitting back like Caicedo, you are saying. He's not.
I mean, he could play in that position, but it doesn't work in this
He
league.
does cover up when needed.
Yeah, but he's not good at it.
Yeah, but like that's not his primary role. He's mostly you will see him in left half spaces, like Palmer on the right half spaces, and they counterbalance each other. That was when we were playing again under, I don't know, more structured as a team, a manager with a more structure to the team. And I don't count Maresca, not Maresca, Rosinier, second half of Rosinier. After the international break, into a manager who put a structured team.
I think my whole point with bringing up Enzo is just the fact that I just don't want him as a leader in this team. I don't think he can bring together the team to step up when they need to. And
I think he's too negative. He's too negative as well, if you think about
That's
it.
the role of a
very
manager
emotional.
primarily, to lead the team.
I also
Yeah,
would
but
like
also
a
the
manager
players
right
on the
now.
pitch. Especially when the manager is Arthur, where he's just telling you kumbaya, hold hands around the fucking pitch, huddle around the referee in the beginning of the
Respect the
game.
ball.
Like, what are we doing, bro? Respect the
we
ball.
need
Like,
leaders right now.
I mean, low-key, I think low-key, listen, we can hate Rossini for a lot of stuff. Respect the ball, low-key is needed. Look how many times we lose possession as a team. We actually do that.
Fair
Technically, you have to respect the ball.
what
but
was Rossini cooking?
But like, I think, listen, Josh Comics talking about the idea that Barker would not improve our team either. By the way, I'm a big fan of
no.
Barker personally, but in
I don't
this
think he's
team,
ready.
physically he would get overwhelmed in the EPL. Unfortunately,
Listen,
that's all it is. That's
I
all
think
it is.
what
Ahmed,
we
you
listen,
always
listen.
try
talking
to, like
about.
you keep
No.
repeating physical. GAU admitted Enzo is better. Amount of kilometers run by the team members, he's better. Now, why don't you look at the amount of chances created, amount of blocks, amount of interceptions, and then you are telling me, yes, there will be interceptions will be less. He's not a defender. He's not but there are other areas. Amount of running he does.
He plays
How
90
can you say
minutes
he's
week in,
not
week
physical,
out.
man?
He
Look at
plays
the
90
results.
minutes week in, week out. You expect him to have them sort of stats.
Yeah, but to the eye. Not that's to the eye because he's out of position. He's playing in half spaces. His priority given to him is to attack, create.
JC, I think I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, Loki. Yeah, in the sense
We've spoken too much of Enzo. I don't want to speak so much about
I
it.
understand, yeah, but I think for me, just generally, when we talk about Enzo, you agreed with me that we have built a system in general, right, for Enzo Fernandez. Okay,
No, we have built it. We have been building
our
a
system.
team. No,
Yes,
we have been building a team in 3-5 shape.
No, I'm
Yes.
talking about the who is the key man for the team? Who is
Football
if
is
we
a
do not
team
have this guy?
sport. All the managers we
Oh
have
my
hired,
God.
all
It's
the
Enzo
managers we have
Fernandez.
hired,
No,
all the managers we have hired
Football-
have played 3-5.
Bro, football can be a team sport. I don't want to disagree with you, but for the team sport
is a
to work
team
and everything, for everything to work, you
No,
need
we
to
are
have
not
a
building a
hint
team
point.
around Enzo.
Yes,
More
yes,
likely
we
they
are.
are building a team around Palmer.
There's no way
Yeah,
I
but
would.
Palmer was wait, hold on. This is where I think JC, you gotta understand. How are you gonna build a team around Palmer when Palmer wasn't available for the whole good chunk of the first half of the season?
Yeah, but
At that point, we were building around Enzo.
I did say that, but I will repeat. Right? That's to a lesser extent. I'm repeating what I said. If you build a team around a player like Palmer, who's like an attacker and who's. We have a philosophy of 3-5 in attack. That's how we play. We played the same against Pochettino, under Pochettino. We
Sure.
played same against under Potter. We played same under Rosinha. We played same under Maresca. What do you want?
A better leader on the pitch. that's all I'm asking.
I don't say
for.
listen. The thing is that
think
our
Enzo's the
issue.
guy.
Killed by these circus directors.
I
They
think for me,
they don't let the manager lead. And they
I don't know,
they
man.
keep
I hate to say this.
On the
internal
pitch,
politics.
though, on the pitch, what are they going to do? They're not doing anything to the players. Again, I think Enzo's a poor excuse of a leader. I want him gone. He already started to flirt 1 foot out the door. Listen, all tapping the
Well,
badge and stuff, that was all
like-
nice at Benfica, but we saw how that worked out. You're not fooling me, man. He doesn't want to be at Chelsea. Go.
I also wanna. I
don't
wanna.
want a good player to leave. That's it.
Yeah.
And also, and this
No
is the other
emotional
thing.
attachment.
Okay, but here's the thing. Enzo, you could say he's good all you want, but let's be honest. For the price tag that he came in, he's not lived up to it. He's not. He has
Price tag-
been okay or good at best. When we're getting a player at that price tag, I'm
I will
looking
give
at
you worst examples,
Look at
Marshall.
how
We have spent
effective. Hold on,
1.8
JC, hold on. The thing with Enzo Fernandez is he came in at a price tag. Look at what Bruno Fernandes is doing at United. Right?
Okay.
Look at how creative he is. And let's not, well, are we going to pretend that Cunha has been phenomenal this season? Are we going to
So
pretend that
you're
Mbuemo has been
pinpointing
amazing?
Enzo.
Sesko's
Bruno's
great.
been breaking
You're
records at
pinpointing
United.
100 million on Enzo and not accounting the 1.8 billion. Where did the 1.8 billion go?
We spent it on kids.
That's
though.
fine.
That's the
You can talk
difference.
about that.
These
Listen,
idiots
we already
are
know,
overpaying
JC. We
everywhere.
already know, JC. We
Yeah,
already
but-
know
but-
that
but
the
if
team is
these idiots
shit.
are
I am
overpaying
talking
for
about
everything,
Enzo
what's the-
Fernandez, the
what's the
captain
player
of
got to
Chelsea
do with
Football
it?
Club. All right, I am talking about Enzo Fernandez, the captain of Chelsea Football Club.
See, Kelly
He has
Man,
not.
35 million. 35 million for Kelly Man. Now you are.
I don't give a fuck about
now you're
Kellyman.
telling
No
me
one's
Kelly
talking
Man
about
is not even
Kellyman.
in
Kellyman
the
is not the
championship
one
team.
receiving
No.
passes from Enzo Fernandez.
So the price.
I'm
is
not gonna lie
irrelevant.
to you, JC. What's this fascination of defending Enzo, man? What's this fascination? I'm gonna call you out on it, man.
Also, I need to just point out something, Josh. I think you're probably new here. Okay, like you weren't here during my whole fiasco about what I look for in a midfielder.
That's
when
the
I was
reason.
when I was defending Enzo Fernandez, right? The amount of times I defended Enzo Fernandez, right, for being creative, give me the passes, give me the just the bare bones basic. As a midfielder, I want you to be good at passing. I want you to be able to be good at keeping possessions. I want you to be able to create, right? Something Jorginho gave me, right? I didn't care about the GNA. That's why I didn't care about the GNA when it came to Kovacic. Just why I don't care about the GNA, even though it's been important goals with Enzo Fernandez, right? Because that GNA honestly covers over a lot of cracks that have been in Enzo Fernandez's game this whole entire season.
Marshall,
yes, he's had good games. Even the last game. I don't think it was a bad game. But the GNA honestly covers up for a lot of flaws that we've seen in Enzo Fernandez that have cost us games as well.
Yeah,
I wanna-
there's been
Okay,
games
let me
where
ask you a
he's-
final question, and I think I didn't want it to be an Enzo stream for me, but okay, it is what it is. A final question for all of you: if we have to sell our squad, all the players, name me 10 players who will have, if we say put up on sale, 10 players who will have at least 3 clubs ready to buy them. From the first division, any club, like a purchasing club from the first divisions in Europe. Do we have 10 players who we can sell that, like we put up on sale, and there will be at least 3 clubs willing to buy them?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Objectively, there is. Yes.
What revisionism?
Yes.
So,
understand what
like for
revisionism
example,
is doing.
Palmer, if you say half of Europe will be willing to buy him, but if you say Disasi, we might not get 3 clubs to buy him.
Low key, we will get 3 clubs to buy him. The
Yeah.
problem with Disasi always was that the clubs that were coming in for him, he wasn't happy to go to. That was the main issue with Disasi. Disasi had 3 different clubs that had multiple different clubs that were interested in him. That we
You
even
do
agreed deals
realize
with.
Chelsea has always had a reputation of bringing clubs in. It's just the players break it down to go with the
Yes.
due to their high wages.
Listen, even Chalobah.
We were
right,
about
yeah,
to sell Danny Drinkwater, but he was happy with 120k a week sitting running his contract down.
Legit, yeah, we can listen. I have no issues in saying we will probably get 10 clubs to buy 10 of our first team at the minimum that will go to like 3 different clubs, automatic ready. So I don't think that's
So this is the
that's the case.
revisionism you're talking about.
Listen, I don't know what Josh is talking about here. I have been on Palmer's ass pause,
Yeah,
for
literally.
the ball,
I've been on
week in, week out.
I've been on Palmer's
cooking him.
case as well. He's not getting
Yeah.
excuses either, Josh.
Palmer don't deserve any
maybe you
excuse,
missed
bro.
your show yesterday, 2 days
Look,
ago. But
I'll say-
I
Mate,
ripped into Palmer as well.
I make fun of Palmer on this show on a week in, week out basis, bro. And I used to get cooked by Marshall.
So there's no revisionism.
There's no
really.
revisionism here.
But let me say this one thing. The only reason Enzo's been performing good sometimes and okay is because he split up with his wife. So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. But like, listen, I think the problem right now, is that we are too reliant. At Chelsea, we are too reliant on 1 and 2 players. This has been my main issue, by the way, fundamentally squad-wise, in terms of getting goals and assists. That has always been a big problem here. Okay, it was a problem under Poch, it was a problem under Maresca, and it was a problem also now under.
It's not been better than Kovacic.
Ahmed, would you agree? Like there are 7 or 8 players, only 7 or 8 players who are good in our squad.
Probably something like that. I think if you want to count it, right? But like, I think the issue is we're just in terms of just getting goals, assists, creativity, and like stuff like that. We're too reliant on 2 players, bro. That is the main problem.
Palmer and Enzo.
Right,
and
I think for me that is a major problem in the team. The one thing I will give PSG credit for, you guys know I watch the league in week out.
Everybody is a creative player,
bro. Everyone's creative. They
everybody is a damn good finisher.
Yes, and generally there's like yes, Dembele is probably the main goal scorer there, but everyone else is getting you at least 20 GA, bro. 25 GA, bro. Okay, the problem for our team right now is that at least if you look at last season, because it was Palmer, then maybe Jackson, and then it was the rest. Okay, that's what. Sorry, and Enzo. Sorry, it was then after that was the rest. Our issue is that we need to find now guys that are gonna be able to give us some bits here, 10 DNA, 15 GNA here and there. Okay, the problem has always become that Neto has not done that for us. Okay, objectively speaking, Neto has not done that for us. Garnacho would never going to do that for us. Gittins, unfortunately, was never going to do that for us, right? if Quenda comes in, he ain't doing that for us next season. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless he somehow turns into like a world-class player, I'm not expecting that out of Quenda. He's too young right now, right? We have to be fair to him. Same with Esteval. He's going to come up. He's coming back from a tier 4 hamstring, bro. That's a very crazy injury to have at such a young age. Okay, so I'm willing to give him time. He'll come back better and stronger. Okay, this is where for me the other issue lies, right? If I look at the transfer market myself, let's look at the transfer market, guys. And I'm saying I need to start plugging holes. I need to start plugging guys that are gonna give me goals and assists and stuff like that, right?
Sure.
From the wing position, let's look at some of the wing positions. If these guys are serious about experience and stuff, I don't know who to go for. I'll be honest with you. Who do you... Liao apparently is available on the market now for 50 million euros. I'm sorry. I watch AC Milan on a week in, week out basis, bro. He disgusts me, the way he's been playing recently. No. Okay?
He's been playing quite a lot, man.
Right? Rashford allegedly is back on the market. I'm sorry. I know Griggs is my guy, but Rashford, he's not cutting it in the EPL, bro, anymore. Okay? That's another one off the list. All right, now, if we say Ndiaye, maybe... Right, Ndiaye could be a good option.
I could see that.
But again, he's a playmaking option, stuff like that. That's someone that you have to now look at, right? What's it called? Maybe to add to the squad. Someone that's going to be a bit more creative, that's going to add a bit more juice and stuff like that. And then I look at the striker position. João Pedro, he's done a decent job. But realistically, I want better than João Pedro. I don't know if that's a crazy... Is that crazy to say?
Are there any better left who are available?
No, is that... I get what you're saying, because with João Pedro's essentially... I mean, I'm not comparable, right? Because João Pedro's clear of him, but João Pedro's essentially having a similar output as Nicholas Jackson. And in that time, we said we needed another striker to... compete with Nicholas Jackson. We're in the same boat with João Pedro.
But Ahmed, who's the
so
big
would you
gun
keep Jackson or would you sell him?
Who would you say is a big striker that's out there?
I don't know. That's the problem. The problem is I don't know, bro. That's the whole of the market right now for experienced guys is very bad. Like I saw. The other issue also is that I'm seeing Gordon is available on the market. If this club brings in Gordon to the team, bro, we've just basically changed Neto for Gordon. There's no difference, bro.
It's true.
I think Gordon is better.
So are you guys saying that we're kind of stuck with João Pedro until another big striker comes up?
I wouldn't mind having Jackson in the team as like a backup just quite genuinely. He offers so much more to the team than Delap does. Guiu is probably going to have to go on a loan. Voltemata is rumored to be linked to Chelsea, but I don't know. I mean, he's a good striker, but is he going to fit what the next, coach is going to want to do with the club? Like, look at how Eddie Howe is using him right now. He's using him as a attacking mid. Like, it's so strange how you can't just use him as a striker. But I mean, is he going to be able to gel in with the rest of the team? That's another question. Well, obviously you're going to have to try, but is he even worth bringing into Chelsea? He's probably not going to go for cheap either. So
Are they changing the manager? Are they changing the manager next year? Because that might give him another.
It's not going to be Callum, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but that might give him another window of opportunity to establish himself there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm fucking hoping that's the case that happens. But in terms of the winger market is shit. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it's someone, a youngster or something. I don't mind it as long as it's someone good. But I'm more concerned with the center backs. You need to get good center backs because right now with the team that we have, our defense is shambolic. And we've seen that consistently over 3-4 seasons now. Even though last season we were, the third best defense in the league?
This winger who played from the academy, the kid, I'm just thinking, man, bring some more kids from the academy. Let's see the striker from the academy. I mean,
Shimweka, I wouldn't be opposed to Shimweka was a part of this team, but I would still want a better backup.
Yeah, but this season is over. So play the academy. Give more chances to these youngsters.
I mean, if you want to play him in the league. But I don't know. I'm just... We're mathematically not out of UCL, actually. It's just all dependent on Villa and all dependent on if we can actually beat Liverpool on Saturday, which I am 100% doubting. I think we're going to hold 7 L's in a row, and it's going to be catastrophic. But... I mean, we could end up... I don't know. I don't know if the manager... And again, it's the player power, right? I don't think I'm going to see any youngsters get any shouts outside of Jesse Derry, who was in there because apparently Neto and Garnacho, had a knock. I don't see an unserious team being put out in the league, even though I agree it should be an unserious team because the league is so cooked.
We are finished as a club in general.
Yeah, we are, man.
And this is the irony now. We're going to change the model where I think it's a bit too late to sort of go for the experience.
It's not going to change the model. They're just going to tweak it. That's why when Ahmed came in here saying they got another youngster, I'm like, they weren't going to change the model. They just said they were going to tweak it. Get an experienced player, which I hope it's a decent experienced player, a good experienced
like they did
player.
with the defense.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? I hope they're not lying. Listen, the thing is, I don't... This is going to sound delusional because I don't like this ownership. I don't like these directors. I'm just going to make that clear. Blue Co out, all that stuff. Protest on next Saturday. All right? Be there or be square. But, there's genuinely a good amount of news coming out, and a lot of these journalists coming out with the same things, reliable journalists coming out with the same thing. They're going to tweak the model. They want to bring in an experienced player, an experienced coach. So I'm hearing it from Matt Law. I'm hearing it from David Ornstein. If they're saying this, then it probably means they probably are going to go for it. And it's a matter of who is it going to be? And is it going to be good enough quality? Are they going to be able to deal with the Blue Co? They can rectify this. They can fix this. And they should fix it because it's in their best interest. It's in everyone's best interest for them to fix it. Whether they do it or not, well, that's the scary part.
I'll only believe this shit until I see it.
Exactly.
The problem, listen, when it comes to transfers, I don't like to talk too much because I know they're always going to sign young kids. So for me, there's no point in me having that conversation with the transfers. I think the issue becomes, again, when whoever you bring in now, okay, the fans don't want to give him time. I'm going to be honest with you. The fans don't want to give him time, and deservedly so. I'm going to say actually something crazy here, but it's deservedly so. Because they've waited way too long, guys, okay? And I know for a fact the ownership is not going to want to give him time because they're already telling you they want minimum UCL football.
Yeah.
So for me, the issue then becomes, if I'm whoever the new manager is, how am I going to make this work? I don't know any manager that's going to come in there and is being told this stuff, and there's going to be told potentially some of the signings that are coming in and be like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro.
I mean, imagine the new manager comes in, he has to work with a squad which is like really big squad
Exactly.
when everybody comes back.
Yeah.
And then he has to work with
You don't want
5
that.
directors and
Exactly.
2 owners. 5 directors and 2
It's
owners.
crazy that, what's it called? How did Joe Shaw's become like a sporting director again? I thought he was the head scout. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking
Got
about.
a promotion. Everyone got a promotion once they won the World Cup. They honestly thought, like, and we saw it, there was comments about it. They honestly thought that they had built such a good team and a good structure that it didn't matter which coach or manager came in. They literally thought that it made minimal impact.
Masha, they thought
just
they
focused.
won it themselves, man. They thought they coached the team to win it, man.
It's stupid. It's honestly like baffling how
Do you know what's
stupid
crazy?
these guys
They
are.
gave him a contract extension for like nearly another. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a circus, man. How you say it? Like a circus, really a circus in management.
Yeah, no, it's
in
it's
competitive
ridiculous.
sports, you compete. The purpose of the league and sport is to win. It's that simple.
Do you know what I was going to say?
Your goal is to win, and you start from there. The target is to win.
I was going to say,
These lot think that they will hire so many kids, and like in 3 years, their strategy was, we will start winning in 4 years. So you can write off the 4 years.
What were you
And
gonna
then if
say?
it doesn't happen, then what?
Are we gonna say gaming for life?
Yeah, another 5 years. No, there has
second,
to be.
JC.
They have to change this. Fire these directors, man.
Yeah. Gaming for life. You were gonna say something.
yeah, I was going to say our only chance this season is that winning the FA Cup, but knowing it's City, we're not winning it. It's
Bro,
Europe.
if we shithouse the FA Cup, I still think it'd be the worst season we've had under Chelsea.
Marshall,
Blue
you know
Car,
what
I
they're
should
gonna, you know what the owners are gonna say? They did it. They coached the win,
Fuck
man.
off.
That's what they're gonna say.
Man. Fuck off, man.
I'm gonna be honest.
And then they're gonna say that
DJs
they're
have DJs have made a
ironically
comeback,
enough,
by the way.
if we win the FA Cup, that'll be the worst thing to ever happen because they're gonna turn around and say our model's working.
I hope not.
Yeah. DJ Sav, just quickly, I think if they sign any of the managers that they currently have on the list, even Javier Alonso to an extent, nothing's gonna change too much basically, unless it's maybe like Javier Alonso, because like he probably has like the power to maybe be like, I want this, that change. If you sign Iraola, if you sign Silva, if you sign even Javi Hernandez, if you sign all these other guys, these guys are all gonna be like, yes, you know, we're gonna do what you want, essentially. That is probably what's gonna happen. I think. Listen, I think the other thing also to consider, and I've mentioned this before, is that next season we probably need UCL again, because I don't think this year we're gonna get any Europe, in my personal opinion. But next season the target is gonna be UCL football, right? It's gonna be one game a week, right? If it's one game a week, you want to have the squad that you believe is gonna be able to do get UCL, but also develop within this 38 game season too. That's what you want. So
Yeah.
because
You want that
last
because
time,
again,
last
like
time
you're
we
saying
didn't
right
have
now.
that. Because remember, last time we didn't have that with Poch. Poch got that, but essentially was the wrong manager for the wrong squad, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right. This time it's probably going to be happen. The same is going to happen, but you want to make sure you're bringing the right manager that suits the squad. That's all I'm going to say.
And
I
you
agree.
don't need a big squad if you are
Exactly.
playing only one game a week. So if Enzo or somebody who leaves, okay. I mean, that in that sense, there's no harm. I mean, you will be playing one game a week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like next season, I'm expecting UCL. I know we've been horrific these past few months, but we know that with a good coach or a decent enough coach that these players are actually respect and listen to, they could do something. They're not shit. You can't beat Barcelona and be shit. You can't go and draw to Arsenal with 10 men and be shit. Like, these things aren't synonymous. They don't even belong in the same sentence. So that's why, like, I do think there is a good team. There's a decent spine, but some of these players, they need to really look at themselves in the mirror and step the fuck up. Like, again, whether Enzo goes or stays, if he does stay, he needs to be committed to just performing on the pitch and not the politics outside of it, or making comments about going to Madrid and flirting with other teams and the manager and all this bullshit. Same thing with Palmer. Palmer, bro, you need to step the fuck up, or next season I could care less if you stay at Chelsea or go, because you're not doing it for us anymore. Your credits run out, and that after that first season, I can't lie. You know, same thing goes for the other players that end up staying.
Right now, the situation is like this, man. It's like a Subway sandwich artist complains about the sandwich. Like, you made it, you know what I mean? These players have put themselves into this position, and now they're looking to build themselves out. They're trying to build themselves out.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like, yeah, a lot of the focus lately has been on Blueco, rightfully so, because of how our season went. And the directors, like, they need to fucking go. I agree, but let's not pretend that, like, these players were also part of that problem. From Maresca, from Callum up until Rosignor, even last season under Maresca, the season with Poch, like, these players were at fault for a lot of stuff. They need to be held accountable. We can't defend them all the time. We can't just direct from them. Like, because even if Blueco fixes up and we decide to actually start challenging and all these silly things that we want to do, right? That I don't think is possible in this ownership. But let's say they fucking fix up. Brother, these players need to fix up too, because then what are you gonna blame when you're not playing well? Then what are you gonna blame when you're not putting out 7 out of 10 performances consistently? When Palmer isn't, getting goals, then who are you gonna blame? You're not gonna blame Blueco. The excuses are running out from you, man. These players need to pick up look at themselves in the mirror and pick their. I don't want to continue that sentence, but just need to fucking get their act together. And yeah, a lot of these players need to go anyways at the end of the season. Some of these wingers, some of the defenders, obviously, as well. There's a lot, man. Season's so cooked, man.
Do you question? Do you think we're gonna ever recover back to our heights again? That's a good question to ask.
No.
The current model.
No.
That's a good question I wanted to ask for last time.
He has a right to be frustrated, but you can do that behind closed doors and not have to flirt with another team as a vice captain. Again, that is my biggest issue with him, is he's flirting with PSG. He's flirting with Real Madrid. And he is vice captain. Imagine if Reece James was doing that shit. I'd lose my fucking shit, dude. At least when Jorginho was here and there was rumors about it, he would deny them.
Yeah,
he would deny them outright.
I was gonna also say as well, Enzo's also been some of the problems of himself when he's had bad performances during the loss.
It goes back to what Ahmed was saying.
How do you get frustrated for you playing crap? You know what I mean? Like, you're on the pitch, you dictate who wins or not. You can change the match. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing. He has been inconsistent, and he has been favorite of almost every manager. So in that sense, you can definitely say, like, he could be giving 100% week in, week out. Yeah. He is not.
If he was any other player, NXY, I wouldn't care. But because he's the vice captain, you got to be professional. And it just leaves a bad taste. And again, it reverberates across the room.
Marshall, can I ask, why is Hatu not playing? Hatu, why is he not getting game time now?
Again, player power. I think it's a lot of player power. I don't think the Callum is commanding these players to play a certain system.
They're telling Callum what to do, bro. They told Callum he want days off, and he said, "Okay, bro."
Yeah,
they're literally Callum is saying, "Yes,
smacking
sir."
him around, bro.
He's just saying, "Yes, sir. Yes, Enzo. Yes, Mr. Fernandez. Yes, Mr. Adribioyo, bro." That's what he's literally saying, bro.
Yes.
You know, it's funny.
Mr. Adribioyo is crazy.
Polishing the players. You know what he was doing before he got this role? He was polishing the players' boots and putting out the cones, man. That's what he was doing.
He was. Yeah.
He is playing well. He was playing really well. Why is he not playing now?
You know,
I don't know. That's
listen,
what I'm saying.
man.
I think it's just.
I wish I could be the type. I wish I could be like McFarlane, bro, in my managerial role, bro. Can you imagine that? Listen, man. Listen, all my employees would love me, bro, if I was like that, bro. But not the case. Not the case, man.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot that has to get done in the summer window. I hope it gets done, because if it does get done, and if we get a good coach, then please, these directors need to fix up, and we could potentially turn this around. But if they revert back to type, we have another shit window like we did last season. Oh my god, bro. I don't know if I can do
Well,
this.
we're gonna slowly turn to Spurs then.
I'm just gonna slowly watch everyone else but my own team. And again, it hurts me to see Arsenal, PSG in a final, and next season I'm not gonna be able to watch Chelsea in the UCL. That hurts me, genuinely, and I hate it. I hate it. But this is what this team did.
I said this often, guys. Purgatory is a bad place to be in, bro. And we, honestly, bro, yeah, we were in purgatory. If we get Europe, yeah, because of Man City deciding, by some will of God that maybe West Ham decide to do something against Arsenal, and Man City is like, we got to just focus and lock in on the EPL essentially, and we just get Europa League football. I will never forgive them, by the way. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm never gonna go forgive City. No joke. Because you know why? Because that will be another form of purgatory, by the way. You will be back almost in the same place as we were just the season before. Instead of Conference League, it will be Europa League football, right? And legit, nothing. This will be like one day extra played. We're going to be playing on Thursdays again. And do you know what they'll be like? Oh, we took a minor hit, but it's not a bad season. We got a trophy and we got Europe too. That'll be the excuse. You know what I mean? And you know what? It's crazy and I think honestly, yeah, if you really want the pressure to be on Blueco, winning the FA Cup is not good, because you've seen what happens when we win,
this is my sort of question to you guys is because I want to ask people who are torn between Blueco out and wanting Chelsea to succeed. And let's be honest, man, the FA Cup is the worst thing that can happen to us. So Marshall, because I want to ask you, and I don't want to fully put you into the spot here, but what would you say is the scenario in your head is because I know you're in between Blueco out and wanting Chelsea to succeed. So what's your thoughts about the FA Cup final in your sort of mindset? I'm sorry to put you on the spot, man. It's put me into a between as well.
That's what the call-in show is for. First time caller, long time listener.
There you go. For me, man, just go fucking win it if you can. I don't think we're going to, but just win it. Get something out of this season. The last thing I would fucking hate to happen this season is Tottenham survive relegation. We lose to Tottenham, hence they survive relegation. Arsenal win the UCL and actually win the league. And Chelsea come out of this with 0 trophies and 0 Europe. You realize how dark. I'll turn off these lights right now. I'll take this webcam off. It'll get so dark in here, bro. I don't want that. So at least come out with something. It's been the season of hell, but it could be so much worse, or it could be a lot more tolerable if we at least had just some FA Cup that I can shamelessly brag about.
Yeah.
And I emphasize shamelessly because that's the only way to do it.
These folks don't know, man. When you're on, Marshall and Ahmed too, when you're on panel shows and you're there with Arsenal fans who are riding high, you're there with Liverpool fans who won the title last year, City fans who all the success. We need something. We can't keep saying we've won 2, we've got 5 prems or 6 prems, all this other stuff. In the moment, none of that shit matters. It's about what have you done for me lately. And you can't fight fire with fire.
Unfortunately, we need to. We can't win the FA Cup, unfortunately. I hate to say this.
No, this is what I was going to ask Ahmed. Essentially,
I am a winner.
asked.
Listen, I'm a winner, but I realised winning the FA Cup could be detrimental to us and the course. Unfortunately.
Nah, man.
And Ahmed,
You gotta win.
answered right
follow-up
question.
question for you then.
Unfortunately, it will be because we know what happens, bro. When we win, guys, we won against what's it called? What's the team that we just won against in the FA Cup again? It was Leeds, right? Leeds. Protest talk was starting to get a little bit silent, bro. But then we lost literally. after.
No, but this is what I was.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know, man.
Like,
What's
what I
easier?
was going to add on to Ahmed's point as well, and I was saying it earlier as well. Like, Blue will turn around and said the model's working at that point. So it's like,
Nah.
you know what they're going to say, man. You know what they're going to say if we win it.
Winning the FA Cup doesn't justify, in my mind, doesn't justify the model's working or the model isn't working. For me, the Prem is the true gauge of where you are as a club. Everything else is luck of the draw, favorable side of the brackets, knockout competition. Anything can happen. Don't get me wrong, winning the Champions League would have been like all, I don't want to say all would have been forgiven with Bluco and Clear Lake and all those folks, but like you can gloss over a lot of the cracks if we have that third star on our badge. But FA Cup is just leave with something. Like, I'm leaving here. I'm leaving this shitty season. I'm not going to forget about all the fuckery that happened.
Yeah.
But I'm going to shamelessly say, you know what? We're Chelsea Football Club. We win shit. We at least won shit.
And that's the thing with me, KG. Like, at the end of the day, this for me comes down to a very, very tribal thing. And it's just, listen, if I'm a player on that pitch, I'm telling myself, fuck Blueco, but I'm doing this for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, I know you laugh at me. I know it's corny as shit to say, but at the end of the day, bro, like, you're still a representative of Chelsea fucking Football Club. Have some fucking dignity, bro. Like, this is also your career. Like, I know it might help feed the egos of the people upstairs, but God, man, like, you at least win trophies. Like,
Marshall,
it's part of the DNA.
I was going to say as well, like, if they want to bounce out of here to a good club, winning the FA Cup is the primary target for them. That should be, the sealer for them. Like, if they want to bounce to a, I don't know, like, name me another team that will compete in the Champions League next season, then, like, this is the thing. They need to win the trophies, like you said. It'll improve on their CV, and on their CV, they will have 3 trophies on their name.
Listen, is everyone done with their soft story? We need a trophy.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait,
Ahmed.
let me add just one thing. Winning the Europa League and qualifying for Champions League or finishing top 4, which one is easier?
Probably winning Europa, yeah.
So why are we running away from FA
easy.
Cup?
Say it again, Jason.
Why are we running away from FA Cup?
No, I'm not running
We
away
might
from
want
the
another
FA Cup.
trophy
I want
next
the
season.
FA Cup. Give me something out of this season.
Especially
because we haven't won a domestic trophy in God knows how long
given
now.
how shit we've been at
8 to 9 years.
Yeah, exactly.
When I will never turn my nose up at a trophy, because at the end of the day, that's how you measure the success of your club. Of course, the other certain trophies are much higher value, are much more important, right? Prem, Champions League, and things like that. But FA Cup, I know it's lost some of its luster over the last year, over the years, in terms of just because the money's not there with it, but it's still the marquee domestic cup in Europe. So, with that being said, we can turn it over to Ahmed for his whatever bullshit take he's about to bless us with about not winning.
No. Listen, I am personally, I love to win. Let's not get twisted, I know everyone loves to win. Everyone wants a trophy, etc. Okay, but we also, in my personal opinion, need to realize that the consequences of winning this trophy Okay, there's consequences to winning the trophy. If I'm the ownership, I can say yes, we had a step back, but let's look at this way. We still managed to get Europa League football. We've still won a trophy at the end of the season. We've gone through 3 managers, and our interim manager was able to win us the FA Cup. Okay, I'm trying to spin it in the direction that these guys, that's the spin that's gonna happen in the newspapers and the PR that they're going to give at the end of the season. Okay, and unfortunately, I do not want to give these guys an out at all. That's why, for me, genuinely speaking, I am of the view that
raise my hand like a class.
Go ahead, KG. Go ahead, KG. Go ahead.
I'll ask a question and then I'll turn it back over to you because you like I agree with some of your logic, which could mean worse things for me. But do you think that winning the FA Cup will justify the directors and the ownership thinking that this is a good season?
So they will be like they won't say it's a bad season, but they will say it's like a mixed season. That's the best thing they will say to you. It will be like, oh, it's a mixed back season. They'll be like, from a league perspective, yes, we obviously took a step back, but we still met the expectation of winning a trophy, right? That's the thing they'll go back towards, right? Yes, we didn't get to UCL football. We got the step below, but we won a trophy at the same time. You know what I mean? That's what they will say. Like, it'll be like,
yeah, that's what they'll say.
But we still got a trophy. You know what I mean? And they'll post
say,
that picture everywhere.
They'll give Maresca
I know for a fact. And the thing is, guys, I want you to picture this. Can you imagine Iqbali holding that FA Cup trophy? That's going to be plastered everywhere. I want you to understand that, by the way. Because that would be like, again, that would be the first domestic trophy.
Hey, listen,
you forgot as well. That's the key.
He's going to be smiling in 4K as well, man. You forgot that.
That'll be the first trophy they've won. That'll be pictures everywhere. And low-key, because of winning the FA Cup, they can literally be like, this is not a bad season. They can say we've had some areas which we have taken a step back, but it's not a bad season because you've won a trophy at the end of the season. And that's the logic they use.
And Ahmed, don't forget, they said literally the targets are UCL football and to win trophies.
I think
so
I think sometimes
objectives.
as fans sometimes we become short-sighted. You know what I mean? The short-termism kills a lot of the mandem. You know what I mean? I want to, before you go, Marshall, there's a philosopher that I listen to quite often. His name is
Did you say philosopher?
That's correct. Yes, and his name is Slavoj Žižek. Okay, and there's a term that he has in his philosophy. Listen, there's a term that he has here. Listen, there's a term that he has in his philosophy called jouissance. Okay, now jouissance is French term for instant gratification. Okay, that's what it is essentially.
Say it again. Say that French word again.
Jouissance. Jouissance. Okay? And the reason why I bring it up is that it's instant gratification. And I think as fans of the modern day, with all this internet and stuff, we sometimes we want that instant gratification. We want it right now, but we forget this club is going to exist 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, guys. You know what I mean? And we need to think about what's going to happen then. What's going to happen then?
Ahmed, we've done this under Roman Abramovich as well, man. We just sucked them and not cared about the long term.
You started off so strong, Ahmed. And then around the 60th minute, you started feeling your hamstring, and then the 65th minute you were like, hey, I need a sub. We need it.
You passed the ball like Gahey. That's what you did.
Yeah.
You know what? That is not true, RSM. RSM. Can you bring up RSM's comment that there's zero guarantee of that?
Dumb as fuck. RSM trophies.
RSM. We have been to 6. I think it's in the last 10 years. I think we've been to 6 or 7 domestic
6 or 7 finals.
Yeah, right. So to say it's never guaranteed, I actually kind of think is a bit false. We've actually shown we can consistently get into the Carabao FA Cup final. Okay, sure. In my opinion. So for me to say that we cannot get back there again, I think it's a false equivalency. Just in my opinion.
Wait. Okay. So let me figure something out here. If we don't win the FA Cup, if we're not in Europe, Ahmed, I need you to walk me through the master plan. What happens next season? What needs to happen to fix the club? That's what I'm asking you.
Okay, so I think when he's tapping is some of the guys that we know are not worth it. We have to try to get out as much as we can. I don't think we're going to get everyone out, but we need to get as much as we can. I then think we need to then start identifying the key areas that we need to actually improve upon and bring in 1 or 2 guys, okay?
But we don't have Europe, so there's less money to do that with. Okay, but continue.
No, but this is why, again, the sales are key, right? You have to actually sell these
Okay.
guys,
Yes, sure.
recoup the money, and then I think
In an
then
ideal
they
world,
can-
you sell Dubai well enough to
Yeah.
rebuild the team a little bit. Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
There are also
and-
disruptions to flights to Saudi Arabia.
no,
Yeah, Spirit Airways down now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like-
one left. One less
But
direct
okay,
flight from here to Riyadh.
we rebuild the team. Then what happens next season?
I think all of us here said the aim is top 4. I think top 4 is a
Okay,
very
so
good
you would
goal.
still want to aim for UCL football with the team next season, just not this season.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
To
saying.
rebuild a team next season.
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. Remember,
Because I was
Marshall,
gonna say, like,
my whole point,
do you
my
want
whole
to
point-
fail? Do you want to
No,
like get relegated?
no,
Is that
no,
the
whole
thing?
point, Marshall, is I remember I said this season we need to make sure they receive a near fatal blow. Near fatal is the key word. A near fatal, something that they're
Near
gonna
fatal,
feel,
sure.
right? Something they're gonna remember, and something that they need to actually we fucked up so badly that we need to make sure this never happens again. That's it.
But don't you
Okay.
think finishing 9th, 10th in the Premier League is that blow?
But listen, they
I would hope they're smart enough to-
Listen,
to,
of course, listen, any reasonable person would say that. But then, if you can get Europa League and FA Cup, bro, you can almost counteract that. You can be like, yes, we were shit in the league, but we're still be able to do something.
And you
domestically.
know what they're gonna do? They're gonna try to win that Europa
Can I give you a
League
great
next
example of
season.
this? The great example of this was United, bro. Just 2 seasons ago. United 2 seasons ago were absolute dross. Yeah, but you know
They
what
were.
saved
They
them?
were fighting
The
relegation
FA Cup,
almost, man.
the FA Cup was the thing that got the Europa League and was it called and the league, by the way, right? And again, their ownership is very similar to ours in the sense that they were like, you know what, yes, we did shit, but guess what, guys, we got FA Cup.
Yeah.
Ahmad,
You know
I
what I
know
mean?
what you're
And then
scared
they
of.
said we got the not the Europa League, but Spurs
Yes.
did the same thing when they were fighting relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
They
Exactly.
turned around
That's why you're
everything. They
scared.
said everything's fine because we won the Europa League.
And I hope that's not what happens. Like the thing is, like, I don't know. That's the scary part. I would like to assume that they're just gonna stick to status quo and they're not gonna change anything. But surely, you look at the season and how things went and how bad the publicity has been, and surely you can look in the mirror and be self-reflective and understand, like, even though we did win the FA Cup, assuming we do, right? This is still a bad season. I think last season, when we finished 4th, when we got Conference League, when we won Conference League, I should say, when we won Club World Cup, you can look at all of that as a big picture and see, oh, okay, we've made progress. We finally made it over the threshold. We overachieved because we gave Maresca compete for top 4 instead of actually go for it. And he actually got it instead of just competing for it. So I would like to believe that now they can look at the season and be like, okay, we got an FA Cup, but we're not in UCL. And now we're 9th or 10th or 11th place in the Premier League. Things need to change. I hope that's the case. I don't think so. We're gonna have to just see, It's scary. It's genuinely scary. Like, literally last night I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, this summer could actually make or break next season already.
Yeah.
Marshall, when an idiot is throwing money in the market, like he's drunk or whatever, and he's throwing money, everybody is just enjoying and saying, oh, nice guy, nice guy, nice guy. Like in the mainstream media, everybody was saying is like new owners, all that stuff, and they have a project and all that stuff. When the money starts running out, everybody starts to laugh after that because there's no more money to be made there. And you look at mainstream media, everybody is calling out these owners now. Yeah. I hope they are not broke already now. And
I don't think they are.
Nah, they're private equity folks, so money for them grows on trees.
They're basically Todd Bowley, Egg Barley. I've got their sugar daddies that have got plenty of money.
They'll just go find new investors and new parts to sell it off to. The bigger, I won't say the bigger problem, but there's a reason why American sports don't allow private equity firms to buy sports franchises, and it's for that reason. They don't want to see a team be owned by 12% here, and then all of a sudden new revenue streams come in that aren't exactly tangible and all that. Like I mean, I agree with what some of Ahmed says in terms of in terms of like they need to realize the error of their ways, but at the same time, like we have to call a spade. We are one of the, I don't want to say worst fan bases, but we are one of the most spoiled fan bases because we had success.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say we're one of the most ruthless and impatient.
Yeah. Because of Roman's
ruthless,
model,
impatient, and spoiled.
Getting the people in and things like that. But the difference is just we're no longer that desirable club for top managers, for top players. I don't. But here's the thing, though. Football is so fickle, and football is very cyclical, right? If you would have said the last year to somebody, or the end of last season to somebody, Man United is going to finish third next year, and they're going to be on the up, and they're going to potentially close the gap between them and City and Arsenal, you would have been like, yo, whatever you're smoking, like, ban that. But a lot of things can happen with the right appointment, the right recruitment. The problem with us is just who are those folks that you entrust to do the right recruitment? Who are those folks that you entrust to do the right managerial recruitment? Like that's we've got so many big decisions, and the people that are making those decisions haven't earned any bit of trust because their credibility is in the mud based off of past evidence. So it's like, do we trust them to get the managerial position right? Do we trust them to get do we trust them to back that manager with the players that they that they might need for their system? Like my eyes say no because of what they've shown us.
The decisions will also be very slow, and probably also like they cannot be one single kind of a vision, because there are 5 directors. Everybody will have his own vision.
Yeah.
And it's the worst summer. It's the worst summer to do it because you're going to cut basically a month and a half off because players are going to be like, I want to focus on the World Cup. Or maybe you might get those players that are like, you know what, I want to sort my future out before we leave to go to the national team. But we know shit doesn't get done in like 2 weeks in football. Like football, it's so slow. You got to negotiate wages. Then you got to negotiate with the club in terms of the transfer fee. Then, like Marshall was saying, you might have to sell to buy, so you might not have the cash to do it. And then they close the loopholes with the 8-year contract. So it's just a massive like this summer is probably the most important summer that we've had for the club since the ownership change.
True. Yeah. This is like a pivotal summer for them, for the fans, for everything. Like this is make or break. I think if they have a shit summer, I think the majority of Chelsea fans are going to lose faith, and it's going to be relentless protest after protest after protest. And again, the results are going to drive that, especially for me and my emotions in this. But like, still, like that is, you're pretty much telling the fan base either fuck off or you know what, we're going to try our best to get in the right direction. And that speaks volumes because you guys don't even speak at all, you know?
Yeah.
Marshall, I don't think these directors deserve another summer. I
agree, but we don't have a choice in this. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And
so we're working off of what's going to potentially happen, what we have in front of us.
And I don't know if the owners know how to hire a proper director.
I agree.
Yeah, but you know, but the players that I was listening to you guys a little bit earlier too. The players have to hold smoke for this too, because they're better. They're better than this. That performance versus Forest, that wasn't on the manager. The players looked like they were actually trying. They didn't look like they were down toolsing like they did under Rosinho the last 2 games. They just sucked. They just were collectively, apart from João Pedro, everybody was just ass. And that's on the players. Like at some point, the players they have to be held accountable, and they need to realize that, you know what, like you're playing for your Chelsea future, you're playing for your reputation, you're playing for your pockets, for your money, right? Because your money's going to get impacted by not being in the Champions League next year. Like these players haven't done enough to down tools on any manager. And I get it. Like as bad as Rosinho was, as as I don't want to say bad as Callum is, because he's not even really a coach. Like he's just there because his badge works at Cobham and his badge works at Stamford Bridge. Like he's just easy for him. So it's like they need to get their shit in order. Like I know managers have a big part and the directors do too in recruitment, but I always look at it from the aspect of, you know what, like even when Rossinier was here, he wasn't telling Trev to not step up and or he wasn't telling Tosin to not get sent off. Like he wasn't telling the players to do some fuckery. Yes, he was picking those players that continued to do it, but once they get out there on that pitch, like the players have a responsibility to play up to their talent and the potential and the talent, the levels that they've showed us in big games and versus good teams.
It's disrespectful to the fans.
That's what I'm saying.
There are people who are working hard because not everybody can afford these tickets and all that, like all these boxes. So there are fans in England who are working like shifts to buy these tickets and go and visit. And
not everyone gets brown envelopes like Ahmed,
Ahmed, yeah.
And that's the thing too.
When you imagine a fan who's flying from Japan or USA to watch this game,
bro,
and he sees that performance.
I used to, before I had kids, I used to go to one game every year, and it was like $2,000 maybe to go. Like, if I'm paying $2,000 and I'm watching that performance versus Forest, I'm leaving. I'm getting banned from Stamford Bridge. Like I'm leaving with a chair. I'm leaving with my seat. I'm leaving with a piece of the pitch. I'm leaving with
just take a handful of
man.
Leaving with Albert.
You know how much Americans do, bro.
Just
like,
pocket that shit.
We rush the field. We rip shit down. Goalposts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm leaving with something. I'm not paying all that money to support the club, and they put out. They don't give a fuck. They put out that performance. I could watch.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I came out like so fucking pissed that last game. I was like, listen, Malagusta was the part that broke me, but like, bro, I was livid. I was actually livid because it's like, bro, people actually like went out of their way to watch this. And listen, beginning of the season, it was Maresca and the way he had him set up. Okay, Maresca leaves. Then Rossinier. Oh, it's every day. It's fucking. It's like that's not gonna win us anything. And then he leaves. Where's these? No, you're running out of excuses. The team is literally running out of excuses. At some point, you got to look at those players on the pitch and be like, "You just lost to a Nottingham Forest B team, and convincingly lost to them." At some point, when are you guys gonna look at yourselves and decide to step up for every game? Every game you should be playing it like it's a UCL final, not just pick and choose whenever you want to fucking play. You decided to pick up the ball against Leeds and actually get a goal. What about for Nottingham Forest? Then you decide, no, this is not as important. Now you expect to come back in the FA Cup final on Saturday and just play. You expect to actually just pick up where you left off against Leeds. Are you going to actually try against Liverpool? Because if you don't try against Liverpool, you really think you're going to come from not trying against Liverpool into a fucking FA Cup final against Man City and just decide, all right, we'll turn it on now. It's not how it works.
And you think the manager's going to pick you after that if you lose to Liverpool? What makes you think he's going to trust you for the
Because it's fucking Callum. They're not going to fucking... Yeah. Who the fuck is Callum to them? Callum will pick him regardless because he's like, I don't fucking know, man. Just play the best players. Who do you guys think should play? Like, fuck, man. Like...
Bro,
you think Callum's like you wait? So you think Callum is gonna sit in the dressing room and be like, Enzo, I didn't like your performance against Forest or Liverpool. I'm gonna bench you in the final, bro. Come on, Ahmed.
I'm not saying that.
Come on, Ahmed.
No. I think. Listen, I'm trying to be a bit fair to McFarlane in the sense that I do also think low-key McFarlane's probably gonna give them is giving them some level of tactics, right? Like
he just gotta sit there and watch and take it, bro. He got no say in this.
They won
Who's been our
game.
cup goalkeeper?
We won one game.
But Marshall thinks it's one of them things where Callum's gonna get his lunch money taken away from him, man.
He get shoved into a locker so quickly.
We won one game in like a month and a half, and the players were like, Callum, we're gonna have 3 days off, and he was like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah, I didn't speak about that one. Low
say
key,
shit,
not
bro.
bro, man.
Like I'm all for players getting like a day, getting a little bit of time off, because at the end of the day, like we know that football is it's their job, but it's not like they have other stuff going on, and you need that. You need work-life balance no matter what it is. Like fans have an unrealistic expectation that players should be either playing or practicing or working out, lifting weights, and trying to get better 24 hours of the day. And it's like, yo, you need a little bit of distraction for burnout. But I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers 3 days in Madrid watching tennis, and the season is just collapsing around us. Like
3 days is crazy. That's the part. Like 3 days is actually crazy. Yeah. For them to have 3 days off and then have that performance.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That's the thing.
God.
Like somebody like a Mourinho or somebody like a well-established coach, and I don't even fault Callum, because 6 months ago, no one had ever even heard of Callum. He was coaching the under 21s and just you know what under 21 coaches do, where you just try to develop your players and encourage them and try to play a similar system to what the first team's playing. Now he's thrust into it, and he's got to manage some of these egos, a Fofana, a Gusto, guys that are just obviously like either mentally checked out or just don't give a fuck. Like, I can't even blame.
That's why the next head coach or manager, like, they have a lot on their plate. Yeah. Genuinely, they have a lot on their plate. I feel sorry for whoever comes and takes this job. Yeah. I really do. Like, they're gonna get paid, they're gonna get their clout, but
HA Marshall.
What about
he's
him?
back after a few months, I think. No.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, HA. Welcome back.
HA was right, man. Big up for my boy, Moroska, HA. Moroska, my demon, man. That's my demon right there, man.
You are shameless.
But you know what, though? I mean, the most important decision, like the one decision they cannot fuck up this summer, is the manager. Mm-hmm. That is that 100% will set the tone. If they hire Iriola, the fan base will immediately. I feel bad saying this, but this is what will happen. They will immediately be on Iriola.
It will turn into another. What was his name again? The Fox Spanish waiter. Rafa. It turned into another Rafa Benitez situation, bro.
They won't even.
Where we don't want him in.
Yeah, they won't give Iriola a chance, which, like, I feel bad, because I'm like, yo, just you back whoever the Chelsea manager is, and you want them to do good. Like, over, like, I will 100% put my hands up and say, you know what, I was wrong on this particular manager. They're not good, or they were good. But at the end of the day, I want them all to succeed at Chelsea, because if they succeed at Chelsea, then it's good for all of us, right? The fans. But let's not lie
though. Before Rossini got into the job, we all said that he's not good enough, even though we wanted him to succeed.
You knew that, but you still wanted him. I still wanted him to do well, because if he does well, the club does well, and we win games.
Exactly.
Like I 100% agree with you. Like, same thing with even when we hired Maresca, it was like, yo, this is a big gamble. Is this guy ready for the prime time? Because it's one thing managing a Leicester, but it's another thing managing a club like Chelsea that has expectations and that has a fan base and a home crowd that will turn on you in a heartbeat.
KD, right? You know, it's right now you can say a top manager will not talk to Chelsea or not like to go for it. But the things can change so quickly. Out of the 5 directors, you fire 4 of them, and then you can speak to any manager, basically, because that shows that things are changing.
But do you think that, as bad as the directors are, do you think that if they fire the directors, they'll just get different directors in and still give them the strategy that the directors have to add out or have to act out?
You know what they should do? They should put all 5 of them in a room and ask them to kick each other. Only one should come out. Whoever comes out will be the director.
Do like a little Joker, just break the pool stick on the table, and
you're about to throw a gorilla in there and just see what happens.
The winner takes all.
There you go.
Bro, but JC, they're all gonna go back to the owners, to the Ekbalis, to the Tods, and
You know, actually, put him in a room with the lap. Put him in a room with the lap. It'll be Royal Rumble style. That will fit right in. Man.
Alright, that's a bad idea, Marshall, man. The lap will come out on top, man.
Listen,
Bro,
That's the best
sell
idea.
tickets at the bridge. The lap versus the directors. Yo.
Yeah, that's the only fight that Delap would have won. His only tussle. He
I mean,
would've
what
won all
music
year.
does the lap come out to? What music does the lap come out to if he was
you
in the
know
WWE
what,
wrestling?
low-key,
the
man,
Undertaker.
I feel like no. You
say
know, probably come out to
Gold
like Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed. He'd probably come out to like a Bronson Reed, like a what's his name
Brock
again?
Lesnar, man.
No. It'll be Bronson Reed, bro. He'd be like Bronson Reed, or I forget his name. The one that used to do the spear all the time. The one that Bret Hart hates. I forget his name.
I don't know these songs, man. You're the WWE expert.
Comes out
The lap
Triple
comes
H.
out
Yeah,
to Triple
yeah.
H.
That's a good shout.
Isn't
That's
that the duh? No, that's Stone Cold. That's Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Time to play the
Time to play the game,
There
man.
you go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
Copyright.
that's fitting.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
if that's
what's
fitting. He don't play
Goldberg,
no
yes.
games,
Copyright,
bro.
right?
Thank you, yeah.
Copyright.
No, Loki, he's Goldberg. Yeah, that's it. He's Goldberg, bro. All he does is just span the spear, bro. That's it.
Do we think we're actually gonna? Whenever I see reports of somebody wants to fight for their place, I'm always like, yeah, that.
Oh,
dude
true.
knows it.
Yeah, he's been talking about fighting for
I
his
know that
place.
he's on the chopping block.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, this was
man.
going on. This was going on Twitter all day today. The supposed fights at Cobham between players.
I'll
Oh,
be honest.
shit, really?
I saw who the source was.
Yeah, I did
Unfortunately-
too.
We predicted this
Unfortunately,
last stream, huh?
unfortunately, the source I don't think is very reliable.
Yeah,
Let's leave it
yeah,
at that.
Oh, okay. I could see
Yeah,
Fafana being involved in the
I'll be
kerfuffle,
honest, man. Fafana's a whore anyway. So like, we just let's leave it. He's a whore. He's a slut. He's right now. He's trying
God
to
damn.
I don't know if you saw, bro. He's literally his agent's trying to whore him out to
Beating up two
Barcelona.
French
Yeah, yeah.
journalists.
Yeah, literally.
I saw that he proposed himself. To like, did he get down on one knee and say, "Yo, we've got. Will you take my hand in holy
Yeah.
transfer matrimony?" Yeah.
Transfer match.
But you know what, the
No. You try again.
That's what it sounds like.
No, try again.
He's
You
gonna
know
keep
what? The
trying
Barcelona
again, bro.
would do some dumb shit like that.
I could see him going to Barca, man.
Yeah, man.
I just want him gone too, man. Him and Malagusto, just hold hands. I don't know what you guys got to do, but just skip out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Skip on out of here,
The thing is, Malagusto will have a lot of suitors.
Gusto is
I know.
going
Yeah,
to World Cup.
bro. I turned on Fafana so quick. It took like 3 days, and all of a sudden I was like, all right, never mind. I'm done on Fafana.
Is Gusto going to World Cup?
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna go
Yeah.
World
He's
Cup.
there.
Can he score a couple of
started their
goals?
last couple of games for France.
I hope he scores a few goals and
hold on. You want Malagusto to score what? Goals?
couple of goals.
That's not gonna happen, bro. It's a Malagusto.
Oh,
He's lucky he got 2 this
scored like
season.
2 goals in 200 appearances.
Bro, he got
man.
his first 2 goals this season.
Yeah, and they were not either back to back or in the same week too, and we were like, "Oh shit, Gusto!"
You know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like if he scores a couple of goals, we will get more money for him.
And you
But
know,
these directors
who
will
gave
say, "See,
Malagusto
we
his
were
first
right."
goal? You know who gave Malagusto his first goal, Ahmed?
Who?
You know who?
No, much if he says who.
Oh,
Fofana.
you-
Fofana.
Because too young, because not experience, and unfortunately for them, they have been all wrong. All the ones that they have the truth and they have the answer for everything. So in English, I would say F off, to all of them.
I'm pretty sure that was directed right at you, bro. Like,
He
that
can
was
say
a
F off to me,
targeted.
I promise you, again, he's
He
getting.
his Italian source agent directly just took
Listen,
a fucking clip
again,
from Casually
I'm
FC,
gonna
showed it to him.
I'm gonna repeat this again. This guy, the next job he gets, he's gonna underachieve so bad. The streets are gonna ask how he did at Chelsea. That's my opinion.
Hold on. Just let me
Hey,
ask you.
Ahmed's gonna be
You are
there
saying
front row seat, man.
underachieved. So no. He just said underachieved. So did he achieve something? That means
No, I
he
said,
achieved something.
the next, I'm talking about then his next club, bro. Specifically,
Where's
not
Will?
Wild.
Here we go.
So
Ahmed
Ahmed, if he
takes.
goes to if he goes to City like it's being widely reported, what does that say about our project, and what does that say about how they view Maresca and what level they view
I think
Maresca?
they're overestimating how good Maresca is. That's my opinion, though.
They know him. They arguably know him just as well as we do, right? He
Well,
was
they,
he was
not
they
there.
were the coach there for a few years, so
Yeah.
they know him well.
Like my thing with Maresca was I never expected him to be the finished article because he's so young in his managerial career. Like just like a young player that has potential, you're gonna have ups and downs. So it's like, all right, I want to see how he responds to adversity, right? Every good manager, Pep had adversity, Klopp had adversity, Mourinho had adversity. I want to see how they get through the tough times and then how they come out of it. But I also want them to see. I want to see them have a say on who comes in, right? Because it's like you can't. I know nowadays that there's the big thing between managers and coaches and all that bullshit, but you need clubs that win things. Everybody is on the same page, and it was clear that we weren't on the same page with Maresca from the standpoint of, yo, I need another center back. My best ball playing center back tore his ACL, blah blah blah. So it's like you can't win. I don't think you can win high level football at big clubs with just a head coach that has no say over any sort of transfers. I don't want them to be super involved in it because we know managers, even the greatest managers, Pep, Klopp, have had howlers in terms of
Tuchel.
Tuchel too. Klopp wanted Julian Brandt over Mo Salah. Like we know that because they're so focused on their team, they're not out there watching games week in and week out and scouting and all that stuff. But
yeah, it's true.
You still need I feel like you still need to give them the sign off. Like, all right, look, we're gonna present you with 3 or 4 players. You let us know which ones that we can take off the list, and then we'll go and try to do the negotiations. And if we can work something out, we'll bring them and stuff like that. But you can't just like I don't think you can just feed players to coaches and managers and just say make it work without.
The problem is with that, right? And because ironically enough, like 6 months ago, just before Maresca, I think, got the sack, there was an interview with the ex-manager and what it was like talking with sporting directors. And essentially, I'll summarize the story for you. He wanted a left back that was at least 6 foot tall because, surprise, surprise, his team couldn't, deal with headers, and you needed someone that's quite tall for heading against corners. And essentially what the sporting directors ended up getting him was a 5'10" left back who just has a bit of skill, and he's basically not the profile you wanted. And essentially, like, he had to, play it off as if he wanted the signing. But of course, like, essentially, like, what the manager wants and what the sporting directors will do are 2 separate things. That's what I was trying to say. Like,
yeah, I agree.
The difference in philosophy, there's a massive difference in philosophy at this club, and it's clearly evident. Like, no matter which manager we're going to bring in, the sporting directors are going to do their own thing, and the manager has to nod his head and say yes.
Yeah, man. Like,
because essentially they run the club.
It's true.
Look at the Garnacho signing, right? Like, we all knew that our biggest problem coming into this year when it came to the attack was 1, being clinical, but 2, also breaking down low blocks. You need one.
Look at
you
the
need direct
signing as well, man.
Yeah, you need direct 1v1 wingers to break down a low block, right? Because you're gonna move the ball quick, and you're gonna try to get there so you get 1v1. And they brought him statistically one of the worst dribblers in the Prem over the last 2-3 years. And so it's like, of course, it was never going to work. As shit as Garnacho is, he'd probably be okay in like a Unai Emery type of system where he can play on the counter and he can utilize his running in behind, his last man runs and things like that. But it's just like the whole thing is just, everything is just so disconnected from the top to the bottom. And it's like, what we're going to expect the manager to come in and work miracles. And I'm like, I don't know if there's a manager out there, even Alonso, as good as he is, he's still a young manager. Like, is he really going to come in and all of a sudden kind of turn the club's fortunes around by himself? Like, nah, he's going to need the right recruitment. He's going to need players to step up. He's going to need the medical team to keep these guys fit. So it's a daunting task for anybody that comes in, and you're going to be under the pressure cooker immediately,
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, big up JC. That's why I'm saying next season, whoever it is, because of just how much of a mess we're in, and because we can't rely on these directors to necessarily, get this window right. At least I'm inclined to believe they're not going to get it right. You have a lot to do, and you just have to keep yourself in the job. Try to get this team to at least compete for that top 4 place. Get us back in Europe. Just make the team respectable again, because right now I just feel like everyone's just spitting in our faces. I mean, we could be facing 7 losses in the Premier League in a row after Saturday if we lose against Liverpool.
Hey!
That's a record breaker for Chelsea.
You're about to get Sean Strickland, man. Before he gets Sean Strickland,
We're about to get clean KO'd.
KO, bro.
Yeah,
First round.
on Saturday, man. That might be a double whammy, man. But
it's early too, man. That's the worst part.
it's an early one too. Yeah, it's 7 a.m. for us.
I might not wake up for that one, Loki. It might be one of those ones I'm in.
Bro, it's on the noon at your time. It's on at 7.
Yeah, it's noon your time.
But it's Saturday, man. But Saturday, little cheeky line brunch. I usually go for brunch at that time too. So I don't even know. I usually have a brunch.
No,
all right,
so
man. Just get
basically
breakfast
it's
like a
gonna
normal
fit
person.
we have to see if it fits with your itinerary and your schedule.
There
right?
you go, man.
Yeah, man.
See if we can pencil in a little Anfield trip and make it work with Ahmed's schedule.
You need more shares of Vivid Seats to be able to actually make that call.
Meanwhile, me and Marshall are waking
Hey,
up.
I've got a lot of shares in Vivid Seats, man. Shout out to Marshall. Shout out to KG, man. They're making me money. KD and Marshall are making me like generational.
Shout out
man.
Pete, bro. Shout out Pete. He was.
Shout out
he was
Pete too. Yeah,
accomplice.
I'm talking about shout out Pete too. Yeah, there we go, man.
Like I don't think you guys in London and other parts of the world probably know too because their time difference. But bro, when you wake up at like 7 in the morning to watch a game and you lose, you can't
it hits different.
You can't go back to sleep.
I was in so 2 years ago I went to Canada whilst the season was on. It was the part season, funnily enough. I was in Edmonton.
Glad you felt that pain.
So it was in Edmonton, in Alberta, right?
And it was cold as shit there too.
It was actually really nice. When I went there, for some reason, it was like April,
okay.
Mayish. It was April, Mayish. It was actually really nice weather at the time. And that's like I think that's near California area or something like that.
Sure.
So, bro, it was like, I remember waking up a game. It's like 3, 4, 5 a.m. to watch the game. I was like, what the flip, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
West Coast is even worse. Like Joe, like Joey, Wob Sports, big up Joey. He'll be up at like 4 in for an early game. And I'll be like, bro, like, yeah, you don't have
That's
kids,
wild.
you don't have stuff like that. But I'm like,
that's like me when I used to watch the UFC when they used to do stuff, bro.
Those things are late, bro.
Late.
Yeah. But that's what I mean, man, guys. Like it's all banking on this summer. And again, even if it's a bad summer, the next manager, head coach, they have a very big task in front of them, and I'll take mild steps in the right direction, and I'll be patient for that. But if you show me terrorist football and no pattern of play, and again with like the pot shit again, and everyone just looks like ass, and we get a repeat of this, or we're 43 points with 3 weeks left to go. Oh man,
imagine,
get out of the club.
Imagine we get the Getafe manager, man.
No, thank you. I'm okay on that, bro. So let's see, because if we're getting some points and we're looking better than we are right now under the next manager, just hold your breath and hope he keeps going in the right direction. And maybe in 2 seasons from now, maybe the team will be good enough to do something.
Can you imagine if McFarlane wins the rest of his games and gets the FA Cup? Do you think they give him the job?
No, they won't give him the job.
nah.
Don't see. This is why I'm not a mutant. Harasses you, man. That's why. Because you say things like that, and he takes you seriously.
I'm not
Takes you out of
saying that, by the way, but like, yo, you never know, man. You never know. That's
I don't even think Callum would want the job. Every time Callum speaks, he looks like someone that doesn't want to be there. Like like his facial expressions, his body language is just like, bro, you're
the guy was a assistant manager at amateur level, man. He's not the type of guy to be, leading the lines or even be a manager.
100%.
He was an assistant manager at Croydon FC, man.
Yeah. But that being said, ladies and gents, we're going to call it right here. Big up to everyone that came on the call-in show. I was going to make it a Casually Chelsea show, but I didn't really have time to make the show, so we'll save that for another time. Maybe Friday, who knows. But yeah, obviously, we'll be here Saturday to react to that Liverpool game. I mean, the few of us that are still watching Chelsea at this point and even care for that game because it's. I mean, listen, we can still mathematically get Europe, but I don't know. These players are checked out. Why should I be checked in? You know, so we'll see how it goes. But as Ahmed puts away the Pirates of the Caribbean coin there. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, people, smash up the like if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Let's try to get to 4K, ladies and gents. We've been a little fluctuating up and down just because, obviously, some people were upset that I've been negative lately. But you know what? This is the state of the club. I reflect the state of the club.
You know what, man? You're not saying blue cow enough, man. You need to keep saying blue
I guess
cow,
I'm
man.
not saying blue cow out enough.
You have to keep saying blue cow, man. You have to say it before the show, after the show, during the show. Also, like every 2 seconds. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put a banner in the back of the shows from now on of just saying
that's not enough, man. I'm sorry.
Stop asking. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's enough, man, because they're gonna keep asking you, "Are you blue cow out?"
What if I make this blue cow out?
Can you also?
I think
another thing you need to also add is that we are not going. We need to say we're not going to administration next season as well, because that's something that we keep getting asked. So we need to say we're not getting.
Why are you such a hater?
I'm just being honest.
Hold on. I just got an idea.
And don't worry, man. Marshall will do it, Alex, man. He will get the latest CFC top, man.
Apparently, he got gifted.
Is that so?
It is what it is.
Apparently, man.
There you go.
I wish someone was doing that for me, man. Giving me gifts for CFC London, man.
There you go. There it is, guys. Blue co out. There you go. We got a scroller. That way, there's no questions about it. If you can't read this, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you shouldn't be on YouTube to begin with. So, guys, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Be sure to hype up the video if you watch this in the future. Big up to all our callers today. Big up to everyone in the panel. And yeah, big up to everyone in the description. Also, Discord. There's Discord community we're building. We're active on there. You can find me talking about all types of Chelsea things and all types of stuff. You kind of get a sneak peek at what the Casually Chelsea shows are going to be like as well, because that's where I kind of post all the news I'm going to use. But yeah, check it out. This community is awesome. And memberships, there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And as always, at the end of every show, if you're a proper casual and higher tier member, we give shout outs at the end of every show. And that's going to go out to our friends here, Lanre, Sadiq, EE, and Adrian. Big up to you guys for being proper casuals, and big up to the rest of you guys as well for being here and being casuals as well. But copy paste the raid message. We're gonna raid out to Flawless over at Sarcasm City. Let them know what's up, and we'll catch you guys again soon. Big up to you. Have a wonderful night, and as always, stay casual. Oh, and
good night, guys. Pajita and sleep.
Jerk off.
Oh, but he didn't sleep. Yeah, and sleep.